I can't be bothered to put music on today. Leave the music. Can't be bothered. Do silence. What's going on? It's a bit weird here. Is it weird? Oh my god! Bloody camera's all bent. I don't know what's happening today. My drawing's fallen off as well. So. God knows what's going on. Oh, Suzelle, you need to watch the video. I don't know what you was commenting on. You was sounding crazy, and oh my God, I don't know whether you I don't think you understood what the video was about, and you was agreeing with respect, and I was like, what? Why are you agreeing with respect over such a controversial thing? So I think you've misunderstood what the video was about and what we was talking about. Oh my God, this stupid thing in this camera is gone berserk. I have to kind of fix it on something. So re-watch the video. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. It's just confusing people, and everyone thought you agreed with respect. We were talking about a very specific incident or a scenario. Oh my God, I don't know what's happening today. Sorry, man. Let me just quickly do. Bloody headache. Yeah, my camera's gone mad. It's not fixing on my bloody thing at the moment. Oh, right. Is that it? Is that it? Is that gonna work? Somebody's sabotaging my bloody camera. I can't get it to work. It normally works fine. Oh, okay, okay. All right, all right. I have to put it in the middle. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, I hope people, big up to James SC. Listen to my video. Actually, I played the audio, and it was confirmed on that video. I think I don't know where to start about yesterday. Like, a lot of people keep on asking me, Raj, why do you go on these channels? Why do you go on these channels? And look, to be honest with you, like, I'm kind of mining. I feel like I'm a miner. Yeah, like I'm going around digging, and most of the time, all you're going to get is just nothing. Yeah, and most times you're going to be sitting there thinking, it looks like outside that you're actually wasting your time, and you're just digging and digging and digging, and nothing's going on. But once in a while, yeah, you'll get gold. Yeah, and that's what I wait for. Yeah, I'm willing to wait. You know, go on for 50 hours. Yeah, and get like a 20 minutes worth of gold. Yeah, so that's how I kind of see it. And last night, actually, let me just double check something. Actually, I'm just double checking. God. Yeah, sad news. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute. There was stabbings in my local area, and there were actually 3 Sikh men, not religious Sikh men. They actually didn't even wear a turban, but they were Sikh nonetheless. And it's kind of obviously what's going to happen is the Muslims, especially the Sunnis, are going to now try and conflate 3 Sikhs stabbing each other to the Qurban, which is a Sikh ceremonial sword, or the ceremonial what we call our Qurban, our kind of shastar, or what we call our kind of religious thing. And so already we have people like a Nava, Sheikh Wan, Mad Dunya. What they're going to try and do now is to say, okay, these 3 Sikhs stabbed each other. It's because of the Qurban, whereas very few Sikhs in the UK wear the Qurban. I don't wear it. Yeah, I don't. It's very. You only meet people that wear it if they're baptized Sikhs. And let me say something: a baptized Sikh isn't going to be on the road in the middle of the morning fighting whilst drunk. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, if people are going to try and conflate that, you're just going to make yourself look stupid. So do it so I can expose who the real, let's just say, the real people that hate Sikhs are. Because there are a lot of people out there that pretend to be friends of the Sikhs. Oh, we love our Sikh brothers. We love our Sikh brothers. But when I scratch the surface, they hate the Sikhs, man. I'll tell you that now with a passion. When you just scratch it, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. There's a lot of jealousy towards the Sikhs. I don't blame you. I'd be jealous of us. We're freaking cool people, man. I'm not gonna lie. We do have our problems, which is sometimes why I'm very harsh with Sikhs and all of that kind of stuff. But oh, is that Rafidi? Is he Rafida back? Big up to Rafida, my Sunni, my Shia brother. Yeah, my Shia brother. Yeah, we have a common issue. Yeah, you know what that issue is. Big up to Banksy. Why is Banksy not actually Banksy, I need to mod you up for some reason. Yeah, the thing that the Shias and the Sikhs have in common, people like Adnan Rashid, the Islamic revisionist, Sunni Islamic revisionist, rewrites our history so they look better. So with the Sikhs, everything was hunky-dory. The Sikhs, like the Gurus, were going around killing people and murdering people. The Gurus were murdering people, hence why the Sikhs had to be persecuted to near extinction. Same with the Shias. They have their own thing that the Shias are lying. Nothing happened to the Prophet Muhammad's grandchildren. No one had an arrow put through them. No one died. Yeah, you know, they're just exaggerating things. You know, they're just like, you know, little kind of liars doing takia 24/7. That's what they always say. I'll big up to Simon. So I'm going to go over a couple of topics. I didn't really want to do a live stream today, but I think after yesterday. So let me explain. I go onto these shows, yeah. I'll big up to Jay. I go onto these shows like Pakistani Specs and the Cult of the Lion Den, not because I am a glutton for punishment. Not because I'm like sitting there going, I love to be abused. I love to be called a pigeon. I love all the chat to literally like they sound like they want to kill me, yeah. I go on there for nights like yesterday, where I went on there and after, like, it was a bit like digging for gold. For a long time, I was just getting rubbish, dirt. And then you get a little speck of gold. And it's worth it when you get it. Because yesterday, about the Arab slave trade and the perception of Khan's admission of how he sees white girls and how he was so trivial about the Ottoman Empire's slave trade of black Africans just 100 years ago, because he said his great grandma or his great granddad went to a port and brought a sub-Saharan African from the Arabs. Now, where is Pakistani Specs outrage on this? Because I guarantee you, if I said this, that my people had done that, if Jupiter, if Banks, anyone, they would be outraged. There'll be live streams after live stream. In fact, I personally think, yeah, like this admission, yeah, is so kind of like explosive that I don't think, yeah, unless what I call Pakistani Specs outright kind of condemns it and does a streams and streams about it, I don't think there's no coming back for Pakistani Spec. Anyone that listens to that and still thinks that Pakistani Spec is a righteous man, you're deluding yourself. Yeah, you're deluding yourself. You're gonna have to understand he's about what can get him viewers, what can get him clout, and what can fill his PayPal pocket. Is there anything wrong with that? No, as long as you're honest about it. Just say what you want, and then it's fine. But don't claim you're doing stuff for righteousness when all the stuff you're doing is unrighteous. This is where I have my my bonnet about that channel, because I actually enjoy listening to that channel. I think sometimes they have good topics. I find it quite funny. Some of the stuff is quite thingy, but the hypocrisy is so damning. I've never seen any other group or channel kind of say that they are righteous. Like you see everyone in the chat say they're righteous, we're righteous, or they proclaim to be. But some of the worst abuse I've ever had, like from Real One and people like that, have been like death threats to my mother, like saying they want my mum to die. saying she's a prostitute, that, you know, XYZ, saying he wants to slap my jura. You know, my boys have that little thing. So he wants Bengalis to slap it off. I've never heard Sikhs talk like this, from my opinion. Mr. Singh as well, yeah. As much as I hate him, real one is definitely somebody that is in my what I call never ever let go list under any circumstances. Yeah. Once you get into that list, I would say to you, there's no way to get out. It's impossible. You can't. Basically, I have people in the never let go list from when I was freaking 8, 9 years old. Still in my brain. All right, if I ever find out who these, or find them again, yeah, it's a, and I don't care if it was 40 years ago. It does not make no difference to me. Yeah, I am a type of person that if you cross me, even if I'm an old man and about to die, I will have, and I saw you, I will have to, I'll have to confront you. I will have to do it. I don't care. I'll do it. Even if it was, and the person that I'll confront will probably go like, I don't remember doing that, but I remember things vividly. Yeah. I remember things like it happened yesterday. I can still remember stuff that happened to me when I was freaking 6, 7 years old. And that little brat probably doesn't remember it, but I still remember it like it was freaking yesterday. I'm like, all right, that little brat, if I ever see that little brat, I'm gonna have words with him if I see him as a grown-up, as long as he's not too big though. I don't want to have to, you know, start bunning fire on like a 7-foot freaking nutcase who's gonna like rip me apart. So let me just kind of like clarify. First of all, let me do the smaller thing first, because I know a lot of the Muslims, yeah, especially the Sunni Muslims and Pakistani Specs crew and all that kind of stuff, are gonna try and conflate the stabbings in 7 Kings, where I actually live quite clear to 7 Kings. Yeah, I'm not that far away from. I can drive. And let me say something. I can drive. There's a misconception about me that I found quite strange, that people think that I literally have not stepped outside these rooms. Dude, let me just say something, yeah. I've had a very varied life, yeah. I've been in situations that you lot probably think, what the hell is going on there? I've been arrested twice, for God's sake. I spent the night in prison, in a police cell. I bottled someone. I mean, that's not like an average thing, man. It's not like, not many people could say they bottled someone and got arrested. You know, I've been to nearly, I think if I was to calculate the amount of clubs I've been to, and when I say clubs, I mean more Asian clubs. I've lost count. I'm talking about hundreds, yeah, hundreds of actual clubs. And then if you name how many times I used to go there. So all this narrative like, oh, Raj has never been out. He does not understand what's going on. He's an innocent young boy. I have been all over London. I've been even to Birmingham clubs, Luton, you know that, yeah, all over. Now, I admit, most of it, I was drunk, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I can't remember loads. But I do know I had a good time, most of it. And secondly, that don't drink. That's the thing that I learned from it. So I'll big up to Black Van Man. Big up to Black Van Man. So yeah, all this narrative, oh, Raj is innocent. He's not lived. He hasn't done that. He's never walked the streets, you know, at 4 in the morning. Dude, do you know how messed up I used to be? I used to travel all the way to another part of London. And because all of my mates used to drink, we never used to take a car. We used to have to go from one side of London, yeah, West London, and this is before the trains are 24/7, and make our way back, yeah, which was a 2.5-hour journey in between like freaking 4 in the morning until X. An hour of that, I used to have to walk by myself to my house. And if you know the area I'm from, walking by yourself at night in this area, it's freaking good. At the time when I used to do it, used to be dangerous. Yeah, and I know people can say, "Oh, you're only from East London." I'm talking about before things changed, because right now, the area. I mean, I'm talking about Stratford. Let me just say Stratford. I used to walk through Stratford like in freaking 2005, 2006, and I used to have to walk like an hour to get to my home. because there was no buses at that time. Now there's 24-hour buses. So don't add all this bullshit. Oh, Raj, you cannot empathize. Rah, rah, rah. You've never lived. You've never done that. You've never done that. I'm going to do a compilation of all. I don't like showing pictures here of when I was younger because I don't want to dox people that I know. But if I start showing you all the places I've been and all through my pictures, I might just do it with the faces blurred out just to show you, because I've got so many pictures I can just go through where I've been all over the place, man. So stop thinking that this is Raj, is some innocent young boy. He's never been anywhere. He's never done anything. Let me just quickly just post up a couple of things. What the hell is that going on there? The code lines and I don't know why my all right, so I'm just posting up the things in the back. Now, when it comes to the Sikhs that are being stabbed in Seven Kings, my kind of condolences to the family. I haven't been told that I know any of them, but maybe I might. I don't know. I'll have to think. Now, one of the problems that the Sikh community does have is an alcohol problem, and I know from experience in the past that in Seven Kings there are a lot of there's been a couple of, I remember Sikhs that used to go down there and from immigrants that have come over recently, and they would drink on the roads and stuff, yeah. And obviously, you know, that's not a good thing, but that's something that used to happen. From my understanding, because I've seen the video, someone sent me the video. I'm not going to say who. I've seen the video. The people that I saw that had been killed were not religious Sikhs. It's not like they had turbans and they had the kirpan. And they were, because remember, you have Sikhs of different levels. Yeah, when I say levels, I don't mean one is better than the next, but in terms of religiousness, you have different types of Sikhs. Same way within all faiths, but within the Sikh faith, it's much more kind of a little bit more kind of like clear cut when you can see someone. So, like with Jews, yeah, the Jews, you know, the Jews. Throw the shoe down the well. I said the word shoe though. Big up to the Jews though, man. Big up to the shoes. Big up, I said big up to the shoes. Big up to the Jews, man. Big up to the Jews. Now, when you have the T singer, ki karda, man. Stop saying this stuff in the freaking chat. You got wrecked with bloody whiskey and all that kind of. That's the problem in the Sikh community that we need to stop. Every community has their own issues, and one of the issues within the Sikh community is an alcohol problem, no doubt about it. I used to drink and I've stopped for 6-7 years now. So with those guys within the Sikh community, because I know people are going to try and conflate this, that's the kirpan, yeah, the Sikh ceremony, the Sikh the dagger, what we call the kirpan, should be banned. Now let me explain quickly why this, yeah, is what I call kind of like they're conflating two things that have nothing to do with each other. When Sikhs, yeah, when you see a Sikh, a lot of people see me with my turban on and they think, okay, he's a Sikh, he must be a religious Sikh because he wears a turban. Now, in the Sikh, kind of like, let's say the Sikh people, the same way in the Jewish community, you can kind of tell whether one Jewish person is very orthodox and the other one is kind of maybe in the middle, and the other one will be cultural Jewish, is by the way they dress. That is something that you can see. I've seen very orthodox Jews, and I know they're orthodox just when I see them. Then I've seen people like cultural Jews, and I go, okay. Then I've seen Jews that are more in the middle, and I go, okay, all because of their dress sense. The same with the Sikhs. You will see someone like within let's say like my group. So I'll give Mani Sindar as one spectrum, who's more of a cultural Sikh. Yeah, he doesn't wear the turban and all of that. And then, you know, you'll have someone like myself, which is more in the middle, where I wear a turban, but I don't have a long beard. I've not been baptized. I don't wear the kirpan, which is a Sikh ceremony with dagger. And I don't have any of the 5Ks and all of this kind of stuff. So I am not within the Sikh community. As soon as you see me, you can tell, maybe other people can't, but from the Sikh perspective, you can tell straight away, this person is not an Amrit Shak Sikh here, or what you call a Gursikh. Yeah, that means that this person has not taken the baptism. Now, when Sikhs have not taken what we call the Amrit Shak, yeah, they will not carry the kirpan under any circumstance, because what you lot need to understand, who you are not, who is not Sikhs, the Sikhs here, whether you're cultural, whether you're in the middle, or you're very religious, see the Qur'an not as a dagger. It is something that is much more. It's something that can only be used for righteousness and defense. And the only people that can carry it are baptized Sikhs. Yeah. No Sikh, yeah, would carry a Qur'an, yeah, if they're not baptized. None. Never seen it. And I don't think any Sikh would ever do it, because it's disrespectful to our faith and the gurus, and the reason why it is. So if, yeah, the video I've seen the video, yeah. If I saw the video and the 3 people that were laying dead on the floor had turbans on, had the full dress, and they were baptized Sikhs, and then you said, okay, maybe they used the Qur'an and that's an issue, you might have a fair point. But from what I've seen, all the people that were in that particular incident all had no turban. They were not baptized. They didn't even look religious. From my understanding, they had been drinking on the side of the streets. And so what they did, which is what can happen in any community, is that a group of guys probably started arguing whilst drunk, and they ended up fighting and using knives. That happens, yeah, not just in the Sikh community, not just in any other community. If I was to start digging up the amount of knife crime that happens all over London, including the Bengali community, the Somalians, the thingy, the whites, you name it, yeah, you will have that in all. Now, the reason why it's quite shocking this has happened is because the Sikh community on a whole are a very law-abiding citizens. I'm not saying we don't have any criminal activity, because we do, but on the whole, on average, we're quite a good law-abiding citizen. And we do have our bad apples as well. And these guys, yeah, until it's proven otherwise, yeah, until it's proven otherwise, when people start conflating the Qur'an with this incident, I'm going to say something here. Any Sikhs, yeah, that side with them on this, like this so-called Speaker's Corner skits. Now, I don't know about which Speaker's Corner skits here. I've sometimes, yeah, he's fooled me into thinking he's Sikh because he's written stuff, and I'm like, okay, it sounds like he's a Sikh, but he's obviously not now, because I've finally figured out that he's 100% not. There was times that I thought. So any Sikhs, if you see another TYO, any of these people writing stuff like Go Speaker's Corner, like doing in a back chat to ban the Qur'an, and you, because of this incident, and you guys are 2 pussy holes to challenge them because you got a dislike for me, I will say again, your hatred for me is above your love for your guru and your faith. We will see. I'm going to watch this very carefully as to which one of these guys here are going to challenge this narrative, or are they going to suck on the cock of someone like a Neva and all TYO and all these people, and let them drag their religion under the bus because they dislike me and they're scared of them. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to be watching this very carefully, trust me, and I'll be freaking taking loads of screenshots, because this is a very important kind of like experiment for me to kind of judge whether people are truly love their religion, or whether their hatred for me supersedes it. So we'll see. Now, a lot of people, before I go on, yeah, because I know I'm getting a bit distracted, but to anybody that thinks that TYO is the friends of the Sikhs, you know, I'm going to have to do a whole show just to prove something, because I will say something to TYO. I want you to bring your Sikh mates. This is the TYO, if you're listening, because you always listen, because you're my #1 fan. You probably sit there with no kapre on. Kapre means clothes, with your socks. I'm probably mutmarning 24/7 over my videos. I get it. You are a freaking degenerate and a creepy little vile prick. Now, with this guy, the reason why I hate him so much, yeah, and I do hate him. I actually think I hate him. He's in my other list, my same list of never forget and to-do list, because he claimed that my mother did XYZ. And this was one of the worst insults that I have ever had towards my family. Yeah, because he mentioned my temple, he mentioned certain stuff. Now, to anybody thinking that TYO, yeah, because he goes and says, because what he does here is very, very manipulative. He'll jump on saying Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ka Fateh, which is a Sikh greeting. And then what he will do is start to say, I love the Gurus. Now, what then happens is when you scratch the surface, you start realizing he's the mass manipulator. He actually hates Sikhs, yeah, in my opinion, from my opinion. And he might like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, but he does not know anything about the other 9 gurus. In fact, I asked him such basic questions in the back chat, and he didn't know even the basics about the other gurus. Not even a single thing. All he bases Sikhism on is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Yeah, yeah. All he knows about Sikhism is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And he also has told me he believes Guru Nanak Dev Ji is a Sufi Muslim. So this is why he manipulates Sikhs like Third Lotjan and all of these guys. Yeah. Now, look what he said about Adnan Rashid. Remember, Adnan Rashid made the claim that Guru Tegh Bahadur was a killer. Yeah, and that's why he got executed. Yeah. And look at TYO's kind of stance on this. Yeah, so he says that Adnan Rashid, yeah, it's like a dagger to the heart, isn't it? And he's not saying a dagger to me. He's saying to the dagger to the heart of the Sikhs. He's a fairy tale killer, meaning that he believes that our particular faith is a fairy tale. Yeah, all of the martyrs, all of the stuff that the Sikhs have sacrificed their lives for, the gurus, our martyrs, yeah, are all fairy tales. These people are just lying. And so anybody that, you know, is charming with TYO, like, you're a disgrace, man. I swear to God. The amount of slander he has done towards the Guru, including saying that the Gurus, yeah, were high caste Sikhs who would never accept low caste Sikhs and stuff like that. Unless you're a caste supremacist yourself, yeah, then I would understand where you're coming from. You might believe that because you also believe that your caste is actually better than all those others. And if you was truly a follower of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, trust me, you wouldn't be talking about caste or the Gurus. So what I'm going to do, let me just give me 1 more minute here because I'm going to go on to the thingy. I'm going to play a couple of clips. Hopefully, I might get copyright strike. So if it just turns off, I'll go to my other channel and Speakers Corner live stream. I made a decision, yeah, to actually put it up because normally I don't put some of the videos up because I'm worried I'm going to get a strike. But I felt like this one was so important that I was like, all right, let me just take the risk. And it would only be for like a week or so, or 2 weeks that I get a ban. So it wasn't too bad. I've got no strikes on my channel at the moment. Thank God. You know, all those kind of attempts by you degenerates to get my channel striked. Guess what? You was that close. You know what's so sad, yeah, for these guys? They were literally 1 strike away on both channels to get my channels terminated. Yeah. But they didn't know that. Do you know why? Because I'm playing chess, you're playing Connect 4. So what I did was to stay off YouTube on those channels for nearly 3 months, really uploaded anything too controversial, and then I just waited for each one to get rid of. But guess what happened? 2 of the channels that I struck both got taken down a couple of weeks in the last month. Speakers Corner Skits, freaking mash struck that, gone. Mr. Singh, mash struck that, gone. See, you know, like I said, man, I'm very patient, very vindictive, and I don't mind waiting a long time to exact revenge. I don't have a problem with that. So have a look at Speaker. So anyone that still thinks Speaker's Corner Skits tries to pretend that he's Sikh here, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes the stuff he says, I kind of have fell for it once in a while, but I've always known he's not. Now read the comments he just made earlier, just so that anyone will know that he's not. So he says, ban the Kirpan. Yeah. No Sikh would say that. No Sikh would say hashtag ban the Quran. So anyone under any delusion that Speaker's Corner skits is a Sikh, please, please, please stop kind of playing into his silly games. This is the guy that tried to blackmail me a year and a half ago, when he sent me an email with pictures of T-shirts that he'd got printed and stuff, with pictures of my mother with a dildo going on her face. And it was like all these dirty words, and he said he's going to sell them. And he actually put a website up as well, and he was blackmailing me, that individual. So he is real vile and nasty. He's also somebody that said he flirts with his mother. Yeah, and I'm not lying. He said it. He flirts with his mum, and he doesn't know what's wrong with marrying your mother. Yeah, we have to ask, what is going on in the world. All right, so here's another one. It was a good day. It's a good day today. I'm not going to lie, because we've got some good evidence against people. So you're looking at we will ban that dangerous knife. Is it a dangerous knife? Is it a dangerous knife? Now let me explain what I'm trying to do here, is because Speaker's Corner Skits has been pretending to be Sikh. Now, if you're not Sikh and you want to say it's a dangerous knife and you want to say that, okay, we can argue with you. But when you're saying that you're a Sikh and then you're saying you want to ban one of D5Ks, yeah, which is one of our kind of like, if you're a baptized Sikh, that you must have the 5Ks, then what I'm saying is that you cannot believe that any Sikh would propagate that. He's not a Sikh. So anyone entertaining what he said, yeah. Oh, big up to Empress Becca as well. Let me just address Emperor Becca for 1 minute, because I'm going to play the clip in a minute. Let me go over to the main meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes. Is that culturally appropriating the white man's meat and potatoes? I don't actually bloody even eat meat. Where is that freaking thingy? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so yesterday, going on to Raspix, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's been made very clear from what I heard that my assumption of how certain people from certain communities see white girls was correct. Yeah, because what disturbed me was when I'll play the audio in a minute. I gave a very clear cut moral dilemma. Now, moral dilemmas, yeah, a lot of people say, oh, well, Raj, you're always trying to entrap people. You're always trying to entrap people. Now, a moral dilemma should not be a trap. Yeah, a moral dilemma is trying to figure out, what would you do when XYZ happens, and then if XYZ happens, I can then judge where you stand on particular things. So last night was a perfect example. We was talking about grooming, and I said that the Pakistanis from up north, yeah, have this kind of in-out group preference. So within their own community, they're not going to groom their own girls, but they see other women from other communities, yeah, as fair game. Now, I've had this said to me by people like TYO and other people who say that Sikh men, yeah, the fathers of Sikhs are basically drunks, and that's why their girls, yeah, run off with Pakistani men or get groomed, yeah. So they say this also about white community. They see the white people, yeah, as weak because they allow their daughters to do X, Y, Z, and they might blame them by saying they drink or they're this or they're that, and so their girls are fair game. Yeah. Now, what I was trying to ascertain yesterday was, I gave you a very clear cut moral dilemma. Yeah, I tried to make it as clear cut as I could, because I didn't want people to say, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? So I said this. I said, if you was driving down the road, yeah, it was around 2 a.m. and there was a a one girl, not, I didn't say the race, one girl, yeah, who's around 12 years old, and she was inebriated, meaning she looked like she was kind of like, you know, not fully functioning because of whatever reasons, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or whatever. What would you do? Yeah. Now, I'll be honest with you, you know, I just thought the answer would be very clear cut. Like, okay, we will try our best to try and help her. I mean, it could have just been like, okay, we done. And one of the things I thought, all right, you know, even if you don't want to get involved directly because you don't want to be seen to be like maybe abusing her or stuff, and it could turn against you, I thought the minimum people would say would be that I'd call the police. Now, what happened next was, in my opinion, a very, very good indicator of why the grooming's happening up north. Khan then asked a question that even I was taken aback by. What race was she? Was she white? And once he said that, he said, if she's not white, if she's white, I will not stop. Now I'm going to play the audio just so that people don't think I'm lying, yeah? And in a way, I'm kind of grateful to Khan for being so goddamn thick, yeah, and so straight in his answers, because it allowed me yesterday to really, really show the mindset. And the thing I found quite strange was that instead of like going on to Khan and saying, Khan, man, dude, like, you know, maybe you should, and I would say that Sumaya said that. But what a lot of people done, which is like a guy called Forfeids and then that, they jumped onto the stream, not to kind of like clarify and say, oh, this is wrong, this can't. All they kept on saying was, Raj is trying to manipulate you. Don't fall into Raj's trap. Not the fact that what they said, yeah, was morally wrong. And even Pakistani spec was pretty much silent. Well, I'm gonna ban. Anyway, Skits, you're out of here. Then you're out of here. You want me to hide you? You do that again, you're gonna be hidden forever. So let me play the clip here, just so that you can hear, and then you can make your own judgment. Go into the thing.
How deep this problem is in the Pakistani community. Now, I will say this: I agree. The families need to take some responsibility as well. And say, okay, maybe you need to be more kind of strict on your children and stuff like that. But I would always say this: that if I was driving in a car and there was like a 12-year-old girl walking down the road at like 1 p.m. 1 a.m. in the morning, my thoughts wouldn't be to pull up and rape her. My thoughts would be to, okay, pull up and call the police. So you have to understand, like, the people that are doing this here, you're giving them a kind of a get out clause, like, oh, girl, these girls out on the road, you know, maybe whatever happens, something happens here, it's their responsibility. The rapist has to be held probably 90% culpable for the rape, not the parents being 50-50 or whatever.
You're missing the point, right? It's been painted as racial attacks, as if these nations were targeting specifically white women.
You're diverting now. So
no, that's my original point.
Let me ask you a question. If you was driving there like 1 a.m. in the morning, and as you was driving, there was a 12-year-old girl walking on the road and she looked a bit inebriated, what would you do?
Was she a white girl?
Any girl, it doesn't matter, white, black, whatever. What would you do?
Well, if she was a white girl, I'd just keep driving because that's standard to see them whites doing that.
And that's not. Dude, do you know? Are you
sorry, but if you're catching me out for being racist, then I might have to put my hands up for being racist. But that is what I would do. I'm not lying, Becky. I would just keep driving, and I'll be thinking, do you know what? That's a standard thing, mate. I might be racist. You might be able to call me racist for that.
Hold on, Khan. This is more than racist. This is the mindset of the groomers. Because the groomers see white girls as trash. You have just literally confirmed what the Pakistan. Because you've said that if it was any other, you asked the race of the girl. I just said it was a 12-year-old. That means you don't see 12-year-old white girls as the same as any other girls. You see them as lesser. So you said you would just drive by. Because
that's racial attacks, as if these nations were targeting specifically white women.
You're diverting now. So
no, that's my original point.
Let me ask you a question. If you was driving there like 1 a.m. in the morning, and as you was driving, there was a 12-year-old girl walking on the road and she looked a bit inebriated, what would you do?
Was she a white girl?
Any girl, it doesn't matter, white, black, whatever. What would you do?
What if she's a white girl? I'll just keep driving because that's standard to see them whites doing that.
So if you just change the language to another race, I'll use let's just say just for Pakistani specs, so you can understand. Imagine if you ask this question and then Khan, instead of saying was she a white girl, he said was she a black girl? Yeah. So let's do this. Imagine we do it this way. Use an experiment. I was on there. I was saying there's a 12-year-old girl walking alone. She looked inebriated in the middle of the night. What would you do? And then the question from Khan, yeah, this is not what he said, but just so that he can understand, because he's a bloody war obsessed with race. If Khan then replied, was she a black girl? Yeah. And then he says, if she was a black girl, I would just drive by because that's what black girls do. What do you think Respect and black people would think of Khan right now? Because there's this real double standard in this conversation that I'm actually shocked that, you know, when he said that, like even I was taken aback. But in a way, I'm kind of happy I heard it, because I've always had this in my head that I thought that's what's going on. That a lot of these guys see white women, yeah, as being kind of like lesser morally. So they assume, oh, they always do that. So, okay, just let them do it. Yeah, whatever. Oh, shut up, General Lee, you little prick. You lost the goddamn war, you goddamn degenerate. You lost it. Yeah, General Lee lost. I'm sure he was on the freaking side of the, what's it called? The not the unionist. What are they? What were they bloody called? The other ones that used to wear the grey suits. Forgotten it. I don't know. He's freaking got me freaking derailed. So if you was to say that about any other group here, the outrage from Pakistani spec would be another level. Now, Becky was on the channel. Big up to Becky. And she tried her best. Is Becky still there? She tried her best to try and, counter what they were saying and to try and call them out for the out. Let me say, Becky, this is racism. Because what has happened is that you have the Confederates. What they have done there was to say, okay, you have a girl, yeah. Every other girl, yeah, except for the white girl, doesn't deserve, yeah, our respect. This is basically what they're saying. Now, there is an argument, yeah, and it's a valid argument that, okay, if we go up to her, maybe she's going to start saying that we're abusing her. Maybe they're going to get claims that, they're going to be, they will go against, it will actually backfire. And I'm going to say something. There is a possibility. It's happened to me. Like I said previously, I tried to help one of my friend's girlfriend who was getting hit by him, and I ended up being the bad guy. But I still did the right thing. I'm still proud of myself for standing up to him, yeah, and doing that. But it backfired on me because I lost a whole group of friends for doing that. And I still believe I did the right thing. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it would go all hunky-dory. But what I was saying was this year, like, there were so many ways that Khan, yeah, could have responded. He could have said, well, I would have pulled up. Like, I mean, there's one way to get around it. You could pull up, phone the police, yeah. So basically, just so you know, just so you can see, you phone the police and say, hello, Mr. Officer, PC Barnes, or not PC Barnes, whatever. There's a young girl. I'm in my car. I'm on XYZ road. Let's just say Lions Den Road, yeah, the cult of Lions Den Road. And there's a young girl. She looks around 12 or 13 to 11, 12. And it's one of, you've seen the time. And is there any way they can bring someone down to just drive by and check that she's okay and take her home? Yeah. And you can even stay in your car and watch from a distance and stay on the phone until the police come. Yeah. So you don't get caught out. The other thing you could do is to film and then say, you go over and say, look, yeah, this is XYZ, and you thingy. But I would recommend phoning and then what you do is just wait till the police comes. And if she keeps on walking, just keep on driving slowly. And I know it's going to look suspicious, but what I was trying to kind of say to them is that, what if you did drive by? So hypothetically, you drove by, yeah, and then a day or two later, in the news, they say young 12-year-old girl was raped on that road, or she was killed. Yeah. Would you say that your kind of like, say, minor inconvenience, yeah, of maybe, just maybe, a minuscule reason that you might be seen, yeah, that you might be seen to be a nonce, is gonna be comparable to actually saving the girl from a possible attack or getting killed, yeah? And so this is the problem with humanity. I've said it before. I am a misanthrope, yeah? I hate, well, let me say, I don't hate humanity. I distrust humanity. I feel human beings are so inconsistent and flawed. Like, and even myself, I'm a hypocrite. I've not always done the right thing. I've walked past certain things that I've thought, man, dude, you should have freaking jumped into. I'm not saying I'm a goddamn saint, but I should be knighted at least. Yeah, and a statue of me in Speaker's Corner should be built at the minimum. But am I a saint? No. Yeah, because I've done a lot of things that I believe that I've looked back in my life and I'm thinking, dude, man, you should have more guts. You should have freaking stood up to that person. You should have helped that person. You should have done that. And so this whole argument about, okay, if we help this young girl, that something might, you know, it might backfire on us. I don't think it outweighs, yeah, it outweighs the actual advantages to the disadvantages. It's like that. The advantages is that you probably might save, yeah, you might save, yeah, a particular girl from being abused or killed, to you might be accused of being abused. And as long as you've done it right and you've covered yourself, you shouldn't have an issue. Now, one of the other things that big up to Empress Becca though, because she said something earlier today, and this is not the Empress Becca Appreciation Society. Let me just say that, yeah, because it's going to sound like I'm doing the Empress Becca Appreciation Society, and we are now bloody worshipping at the feet of Becca. No, we're not. I'm just calling out something that I heard earlier. She said that she was abused by her ex-husband, and this is another scenario where people are too scared to intervene because I think things are going to backfire. Yeah, like if you intervene in people's personal relationships, it's going to backfire because it's going to turn on you. And I'm going to say something. It can happen. It's happened to me, like I said. It's even happened with my sister, used to be domestically abused. And Real One made, you know, Real One, he finds domestic violence hilarious, Real One does. You know, Real One, he's made fun of my sister being abused by her husband. And so Real One is a real lovely individual who thinks it's hilarious to mock domestic violence, as well as saying he wants my mother to die. So when it comes to this situation, my sister was in a domestic violent relationship for like 10 years. My brother-in-law, yeah, was a right savage. Like, he had a reputation already. He was much older than me, maybe I think 10 years. They got married when I was quite young. So I wasn't like, you know, the Raj you see today. I was a very quiet young boy. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but when I was like 14, 15, I was like a little saint. Yeah, wouldn't boo to a mouse. And so I would see that, and I would always tell my sister, look, man, you got to get away from, I never understood when I was growing up this kind of Stockholm syndrome of when women are in this abusive relations, and especially when you got a kid like she did, she has. And big up to my nephew for turning out to be an amazing guy, although his dad's a complete degenerate prick. And so I used to always think that, and I have to admit, and I know people are going to say, Raj, I thought you was a good boy, you don't do anything. I did smash a bottle in my brother-in-law's head. Yes, I admit it, and I got arrested. And you know what? I'm glad I did it. Yeah, I'm glad I did it, because when I got a bit older, yeah, and let's just say I kind of got older, and I was not as quiet as I was. I ended up, you know, let's just say, like, doing what I had to do a little bit. Oh, the bloody doorbell is ringing. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? All right, give me a minute. Doorbell's ringing. I'm gonna open the door. going. Bloody doorbell ringing. Oh, I hate that guy, man. Delivery driving little prick. God's sakes, why can't I just put it through the letterbox? Where was I? Yeah. So as I got older, like I said, I did what I had to do. Luckily, my sister separated from him and got divorced at some point, and I'm glad she did. But I will say that, you know, it's very hard unless you've been in that situation to understand the mindset of a female that's in that situation, especially when you've got kids. Yeah. And so big up to Empress Becca for doing that, and she's now left and she's helping other women. And that's another scenario where yeah, Simon, amazing emergency baked bean landing at my door with one of those Amazon drones just turned up going beans. So what happened with me was that my sister used to always say to me, and I know people are going to use this against me now, but I think it's important to still say it because people are so vicious and nasty, they'll use it against me like Real One did when he found out that my sister used to get abused. He started mocking her and mocking my sister's abuse. So one of the things that I used to always be shocked about was that my sister told me a couple of times, one time she was out at a friend's house and my brother-in-law slapped her in front of the whole room. Yeah, like think about this. Like I was only around, I think I was around 16, 17 when this happened. I was a young kid and he's much older and bigger than me. He slapped her in front of a whole room of friends. Yeah, and nobody did anything. No one done nothing. They were so scared of the guy because he's got a reputation. They did nothing. And that always stuck with me. I was always thinking, oh my God, if only one person stood up to him and said, look, don't do that to her, maybe it wouldn't have escalated, because this at the time he didn't, you know, it goes at a slow pace. That in the beginning they're nice, and then slowly they might hit you once, and then they'll say sorry, and then it gets worse and worse when they're not called out for their behavior. And so for me, years later, I had one of my best mates here. I had a very good friend, and I used to always go out with him. You know, not like day buggers. Yeah, you know, basically he used to be like my drinking partner. We used to go places, and this guy, yeah, was somebody that had a temper. And so what happened with him was that he had a girlfriend, yeah, and the girlfriend and him used to argue a lot. But one time he pushed her to the floor, and he was about to hit her, yeah. So I got up and I freaking well jumped and I freaking well went mad, yeah. And me and him ended up getting into a fisticuffs, yeah. And actually, broke my glasses, the little prick. And what happened then is something that, you know, a lot of people are worried about. When it was all done, I was then made the bad guy, even by the girl, because you know, with these weird relationships where it's very, very abusive. She started to go, why did you do that? Because he got arrested after, yeah, and then she started blaming me, like, oh, why did you do that, Raj? Why did you do that? How did you do that to him? Why did you do that to him? Why did you do that to him? Oh my God, why did you interpret? And I was like, oh my God. And then I remembered from there, I was like, all right, even when you do the right thing, because I know I did the right thing still, because they're not together, I know that. I did the right thing. I was still made to feel like the bad guy. And this is the problem about doing the right things. If you're going into it thinking that you're going to be seen as a savior and getting a medal, trust me, that's not the way it works out. Similar thing happened to me just round the corner from my house. Yeah, maybe Empress Becca, maybe. I never spoke to that guy since. It's been 12 years. The other thing that happened to me just outside my house, I had to go call around, I think it was around, actually it wasn't that long ago. When was it? 2016. Actually, it was 2015. It's not 2014. Not that long ago. Outside my house, literally down the road, there was a drunk woman and a man, and the man was literally bitch slapping the woman, yeah. Even though he was small, he was smacking her. She was crying and everything like that, yeah. And they were drunks. Me and my nephew were there. I ended up intervening, obviously, he was smaller than me, so it was easier. I just got in the middle and started pushing him back to leave her alone, yeah. And then what happened was that I ended up giving kind of like the police come, and then I had to take a witness statement. I had to go to a court in, I think it was in Stratford, the Stratford court. Or was it Mining? I can't remember which. It could be Mining or Stratford. I know it was Stratford. Actually. I had to go to a court to testify that he slapped her and I intervened and all that kind of stuff. And I was actually on the dock as well. So, but what happened was that in that situation, my life was made freaking terrible for like 6 months, because the problem was I didn't realize the guy lived across the road from me. I didn't know he lived there. He was somebody that, like, they got tenants. He lived across the road from me, and I would have to pass him. Yeah, I'd have to pass him every other couple of, like a week or so, and it was freaking awkward. I'm not gonna lie, because I was gonna have to go to a court case. Yeah, and so I did fear for like my family and stuff, and even my family. Like, I remember my one of my, I don't want to say who, saying you shouldn't have intervened because it's making our life difficult, because the guy only lives up the road, he might do something to us. And I was like, nah. I said, that's not the Sikh thing to do, man. Like, and I'm gonna bring my faith into this year. I'm gonna bring my faith into it, because I have to admit, and I know people are gonna say you're lying, but I'm not. When I was making the decision, I thought to myself, if I walk away, my gurus would be disgusted with me. I remember thinking that. Yeah, I was like standing, I had, because I was thinking about my home was over there, and I'm thinking this crazy guy. I was like, what if, I was like, how you could find out where I live? And I had to think about my mother. But then I thought to myself, I remember thinking, dude, if you walk away, and I had my turban on, I was like thinking, I was like, oh my God, as a Sikh, man, you can't just walk away. You can't. And this is one of the beauties of, like, you know, when a Sikh wears a turban, it brings you responsibility. I'm not going to lie, it does, in the sense that I'm not sure if I didn't wear the turban at that day, because sometimes I wear my hat, whether I might have done the same thing. I hope I would have, but I do remember wearing the turban and thinking to myself, shit, if I walk away and someone sees me walking away from a woman being abused as a Sikh, yeah, like, that is a big disgrace. And so, yeah, I remember doing that, and I'm that's when religion sometimes does kind of push you into doing good things as well. So yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, you know, I'm going to start back. Nitro, yeah, I know you're inbred, yeah. I know the inbreeding is probably around, calculated, I think it's at least 80 generations, yeah, because I always calculate how stupid someone is by how many generations of inbreeding they have done, yeah. So I can see from this guy, he's probably around 80 generations, yeah. I think the person that's got the actual gold title is a guy called Ghost Speaker's Corner, because he's never had a single descendant that hasn't married their cousin, even towards the cave times, yeah. Even the first caveman of theirs was actually marrying their first cousin. So this is when you know, this is how stupid your genealogy and how degenerate you can go, depending on how many inbreedings you got. Now I'm going to go on to the other situation, which was about the Arab slave trade. Now I want you to listen to this here, because when it comes to Kanye, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, last night, like, I was actually sitting there with my jaw literally on the floor, going like, did he just say what he just said? Yeah, did he just say what he said? So let me just play something. All right. So what happened next year? Later on, obviously, when I left, they started talking about certain things, and Khan admitted something that, I'm not gonna lie here, even kind of like threw me back to the level of like madness. Like, have a listen to Khan talking about the love story of his great grandparents. You know, you have these love stories here, like Pocahontas. You have these love stories like the Titanic. You have these love stories like, you know, Romeo and Juliet. You have these love stories that, you know, permeate through history, even though they're not real, as kind of like classic love stories. Listen to this love story. I'm going to say that this is a love story that is more of a nightmare than a love story. So have a listen to this.
Things. So I think you're right about that. Like, they never know that it's going to be 100% or even 90%. If you can get food as well. Like, like it's all these these are all like small things, you know. That's what I'm just saying. If someone who's in Somali or American or anyone, even all these type of things come into it. But yeah, there's a few Irish.
One more thing. I'm sorry, I'm playing.
You married the Habashi woman.
Oh yeah. So have a listen to this like great love story here. And I'm not trying to mock here, but it is just so weird on because his delivery was so kind of like you know, like if you're talking about something and it's very kind of controversial, but you're talking about it, it's like, oh yeah, you just gone to the shops or something. Like, you know, you're talking about, let's just say a murder, and you're going, oh yeah, you know, I just went down to I was over there, you know, someone got shot in the head, and then I went over to buy my, you know, cake, yeah, from Asda. Like, it was that kind of flippantness that kind of took me aback from the admission of Khan, yeah, because listen to this.
I don't know about England, but like, you know, any Turks. Actually, there's a good few Turks up here that married Somalis.
Well, to be honest, my great granddad, he married the Habashi woman.
Yeah.
So I'm part African. But this is on my mum's side. So on my dad's side, they're African as well. But I think they weren't Habashi. They were actually sub-Saharan African. And I think that was more to do with them marrying slaves, like basically, like people that were slaved by the Arab slave trade. They would pass through Ottoman ports, and I think my dad was saying someone in his family just rolled down to the port one day and just said to the guy, like, what you got in your boat? And he's like, I got some women in there. And he's like, bring one out in there. And he just married her, just took her to the village and just, in a way, set her free from slavery. You know what I mean? So that's on my dad's side. But on my mum's side, we're more
so have a listen to that. Like, the flippantness of it was, now just think about what he just said, yeah, and really try and visualize what he's saying, because it's hard to kind of like see the kind of like the savagery of what he just said. In the 1900s, this is not 500 years ago, 600 years. In the 1900s, the Ottoman Empire was at its kind of peak. Yeah, it was at peak, whatever. Yeah, it was at its kind of like, you know, it was one of the biggest empires at the time. And his great-grandfather was going to the port, and there was a ship full of African sub-Saharan slaves, yeah, of women and men and stuff, owned by Arabs, yeah. And he just went over there and brought one and just took her home and married her. Like, can you not just see how kind of like crazy that scenario is? And the way Khan delivered it was like it was an amazing love story or something. Like, this was amazing, man. You know, they met in a slave ship and he brought her and freed her. Now, I would have more respect, yeah, for Khan if he said it, but said, look, man, the way my grandparents met was in a way that, you know, I'm not really proud of. You know, she was a slave, and, you know, my grandfather brought her from a ship and then freed her, blah, blah. But the way he said it was so flippant. And this is one of the biggest problems within Pakistani specs hypocrisy. Let me explain why this is now Pakistani specs biggest issue, because he's somebody that rightly condemns the transatlantic slave trade. Rightly, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let me just say quickly, never yet. I'm sorry to hear about the baby being born without no neck, and it's sad that the parents married for so many generations. And I know I sometimes mock it, but it is a real. And the reason I sometimes mock things is because I'm trying to make you think, and sometimes humor can do that. You got to, and I'm not sure. I think different people, especially Kashmiris from up north in like the hillbillies of Pakistan, I know they marry their cousins a lot. They must do. They all look the same. There's no other way. because I've met so many Kashmiri meepoolies from up north now in Speaker's Corner, and they look and sound the same. Let me go back to the thing here. So then what the situation of Pakistani Spect is now is this. Look, he never really condemned it outright. Yeah, he never really kind of like wanted to talk about it, because he knew it will prove one thing. It's going to prove one thing, and he doesn't want it to be proved that the transatlantic slave trade, as evil and vile as it was, had ended at a particular point in the mid 1800s, although there was probably still remnants of it afterwards. But the Arab Muslim slave trade was still going on, and has been going on for longer as well. And so this year, don't worry, T saying, calm down. Now, look, you have to understand, T saying, that's what they want. If I capitulate, that means that they've won. The point is, you have to stand up to bullies, and even if that means, you might get a little bit of heat, you've got to do it, I'll be that person to do it, Now, when it comes to, like I said, the Arab slave trade, it went on for longer, and it also, stopped at a much later date, than the transatlantic slave trade. And one of the other things is this: within the Arab slave trade, they were castrating African men en masse, which is why when you look in the Arab world, there are no real descendants of the slaves. They've gone totally extinct because their gene pool was cut, literally. And so this is why Pakistani Spect was so uncomfortable. I guarantee he won't speak about it again, but I'm asking people in the chat to keep on putting him up on this now. Why is it that Khan admitted to his great-grandfather rolling up to a port in the Ottoman Empire in the 1900s and picking up and buying an African sub-Saharan slave from Arabs in the 1900s, and Pakistani Spect is pretty much silent on the matter? Because I can guarantee you one thing: if my great-grandfather had done that, just think about it. If my great-grandfather had done what Khan's great-grandfather had done, Pakistani Spect would be calling me a Nazi, a KKK, a racist, that I'm the worst of humanity, that my family should be damned. Your family is this. And it would happen to anybody else who is not part of his little clique and is not part of the Pakistani Spect or Sunni Spect crew. And this is why I cannot take him seriously. Because something that has affected his people, to a degree which is still affecting him now, but he's outright condemning and continuously saying about the transatlantic slave trade, which rightfully so. But when it comes to the Arab slave trade, he's pretty much silent. And this is what people like Sarah and people like these, people like that are kind of get pissed off with Pakistani Spect, because it's his selective outrage. Because the difference between him and other people, he says he's righteous. He says he stands for truth. But most other people don't have that, give themselves that standard. I know I'm a prick. I can be hypocritical. Sometimes I'm selective in certain things. And I agree, it's not great, but I can't tackle every issue. I can't be talking about everything. I have to talk about things that affect me and just generally the UK. I can't go on about every issue around the world. But when it comes to the transatlantic or the slave trade of the Arabs and he should be bunning both out, equally, in my opinion. Because although the transatlantic slave trade was worse in its barbarity, it was for a shorter period. They both, when you see them, they kind of equal out, because the transatlantic slave trade was for a couple of 100 years, yeah. And then what happened was that, although it was savage and evil, one of the worst crimes committed, in my opinion, to another human being, it stopped and was banned at a certain point, yeah, like in the 1800s. The Arab slave trade was going on for much longer. They were castrating black people, and then on top of that, yeah, it was still going on in was it in the Ottoman Empire, to the point that Khan's own great granddad brought a slave. I mean, if that doesn't kind of tell you the hypocrisy of Pakistanis, mate, then thingy. What do you think, Raj, about Ash stamping on the Quran? No, that was wrong. Let me give it, because I want to wrap up in a minute. I think I've said as much as I can about that, about the thing. Let me talk about Ash and the Quran. Now, I know people are going to say, Raj, you're a hypocrite. Raj, you're a hypocrite. You're a free speech absolutist. Rah, 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 rah. Now, when it comes to Speaker's Corner, yeah, like it's hard for me to kind of like, even for myself in my own head, I sometimes confuse myself about how far free speech will be pushed. Now, I don't agree with people like getting the Quran or a Bible and freaking chucking on the floor and stepping on it. I think that's vile. I think it's a nasty thing to do. I think, although even if you disagree with that person's ideology, to them, it's not just a book. It's an actual representation of what they believe to be God's word. And whether you believe that or not is not really relevant. I think for that person, when they're seeing it, they're seeing not a book, they're seeing God's word on the floor. And so for me, I don't agree with that, man. Like, if someone done that to the Guru Granth Sahib, yeah, my holy scriptures, I'm going to be honest with you, like, I'm not saying I was doing anything physical, but I would definitely pick it up and I would take it back. I think what as much as I think what's his name, Deep, I've forgotten what he calls himself, is a crazy lunatic, I will say that he handled it relatively well. He picked up the Quran and he took it, yeah, and he didn't allow it to go back. And I think that's a good way to deal with it. Like, the problem with the holy books here is that, especially the Bible, let me explain the difference between the Bible, the Quran, and say the Sikh holy scriptures. The difference is this: the Bible and Quran is freely available to be picked up. You're giving them free, and they're everywhere. So people that are not from that faith can literally have a Quran in the thingy. You have Bibles in like hotels, and so the Quran cannot really be said to belong to the Muslim community no more, because it's been given out so much. So non-Muslims have them, yeah, and same with the Bible. And so if someone says that, okay, I have the Quran, yeah, I've got it, and I'm reading it, I can do with it what I want in terms of as it's my property, they kind of have a point, yeah. But I don't agree with it. Even when Tan done it, that's one thing I was like, no, you went too far. You shouldn't have done that, yeah. But the difference between, I would say, the Sikh scriptures is that the Sikh scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib, is very hard to get hold of in its entirety. So when you go to the temples, yeah, they'll have the whole Sikh scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib, in the Gurdwara or the temple. But you cannot just walk into a shop, from my understanding, and buy one, because they're made specifically. There's a very few of them, yeah. And so we used to have in my house the Guru Granth Sahib in my house for around 10 years. And what we did is that we donated it to a Gurdwara up north that needed it, because you have to kind of get them from India. And so we donated our one because they needed one. But we do have smaller bite-sized chunks, which are called gutke, yeah, like little bite-sized that you can get, so people can read the Guru Granth Sahib bite-size, yeah. So you can still read it, but the whole book is not, the whole Guru Granth Sahib, the scriptures, is not available to just anybody. So it'd be harder for someone to do that to the Sikh scriptures. But I do disagree with it. I think Ash, as somebody from look, when it comes to atheists, yeah, I can't really say to an atheist, like, respect our religious books because they don't believe in any God. But when it comes to another person of faith, I think you can say to them, look, man, you got the Bible. Would you like someone chucking the Bible on the floor and stepping on it? And I'm pretty sure most Christians will not like that. The same with me. Yeah. Oh, Rashma Actor saying that atheists are different than Raj and us and Raj. True, because they don't believe in God at Rashma. So when they see the Quran, all they see is a book. You know, to them it's just a book with words. To somebody that believes in Islam, it's the word of God. Someone that's a Sikh, the Guru Granth Sahib, yeah, is the word of God. So someone getting that and chucking on the floor and stepping on it is going to be very disrespectful to anyone of faith. So this is where it gets very complicated, yeah, with free speech. This is where I sometimes, my mind has to kind of do like sometimes mental gymnastics in a way, because I have to try and figure out, as someone from religious background, how far can we push this free speech. And I think I would say this year, for religious people, this is aimed at religious people that believe in God, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, whatever. If you get someone's holy book and you chuck it on the floor and you step on it, that person has the right, in my opinion, to get your holy book, chuck it on the floor and step on it. Because if you're going to do that to theirs, then you shouldn't be upset when they do it to yours. To an atheist, I don't know what you can do, really. They don't believe in any God. Maybe get Harry Potter or something. Maybe they believe in Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings and like chuck Lord of the Rings on the floor and tread on it or something like that. I don't know what the equivalent for an atheist would be to upset them. Yeah. So yeah. RCW, I know, I understand. You're not going to understand. Like, to you, I get it. This is why, like, it's a difficult line to cross with free speech, because I have my own issues with free speech, because I would defend an atheist or somebody's right to do X, Y, Z. But I do think people of a religious faith have a particular obligation to kind of like not do something they wouldn't want done unto themselves. So I give an example. I don't curse Prophet Muhammad. I don't say, you won't find a video of me saying Allah is this or Allah is that, because for me, yeah, Allah, yeah, is just another word for God. So why am I going to say it? Like, it's in the Guru Granth Sahib as well, the word Allah. Allah, you can say God, Allah, Bishop, whatever. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know it's difficult, man. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Like, what I try and do here, so for everyone to understand, what I try and do is to put myself into the position of it happening to me. So if I was in Speaker's Corner and Ash got the Guru Granth Sahib, chucked it on the floor and stood on it, what would I think and how would I feel? And I would feel very upset, but I wouldn't do nothing physical. I would pick it up like Deep done and refuse to give it back. And even if I got charged for taking the property, I would deal with that at some point. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I think that's the best course of action in order to kind of like deal with that. Going to violence at Speaker's Corner especially is not something that's conducive to you know, like the place of Speaker's Corner and what it stands for. Let me just read a couple of comments and then I need to go. I hope everybody can see that what I've highlighted today kind of proves one point, that going onto these channels, yeah, may seem unfruitful in a lot of ways, but there is a method to my madness. Yeah, I know people think, Raj, you're causing yourself so much stress. Raj. Look, I don't mind a bit of stress, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying I like it, but look, if I got to go through shit in order to get the gold, I'll go through the shit to get the gold. I don't want people to say I'm literally going through shit. I'm doing it metaphorically. So let me just read a couple of comments and see what people think, because I actually didn't read anything. Oh, Angel Moon's there. We got Angel Moon. I hope you don't go to freaking Mark Collette's side. Let me say something, Angel Moon. I don't know if you have, but if you go to Mark Collette's side, we're gonna have to part ways, man. I'm sorry. I've kind of made my decision on that. Like, I have to start kind of like saying, okay, I'm not saying that, you know, I hate anyone, but I've got to make a clear distinction. Now, Raupesh, that's a bit more of a grey area, because I think it's a bit more of a lot of people listen to him for entertainment, I think, rather than his actual substance. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the cousin marriage thing is. I'm glad another is saying that, yeah, because I think it's such an important issue with consanguinity. I think it's called consanguinity, where you can, if you married your cousin once, that's bad. But if you then married your parents are cousins, and then your parents' parents are cousins, your parents' parents' parents, yeah, are cousins, the damage to your gene pool and the birth defects are going to be through the roof. Yeah, you're gonna cause yourself and your family unnecessarily anguish, which is something that is avoidable. Like, it's not something that, you know, is not avoidable. Oh my god. Nine, I don't want to read that, but 9 Coyote 80 said something quite funny, but I can't read it. Someone needs, all right. I'm not reading it, but someone needs to read his thing. Khan turned into a love story. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to disrespect Khan too much. It's still his family, isn't it? Big up Muslim Arabs, Islam greatness. I bet you know what, yeah? I bet, yeah, Islam greatness, yeah, is like a Bengali or a Pakistani that worships Arabs. Because you know when people say that, like, I worship the white man, the biggest white man worshippers are Muslims. The Arabs are pretty much white people. They're Caucasian people. They just got a darker complexion. Yeah, they pretty much could pass for South. What is it? South. What's it bloody called? Oh, South European. The Europeans from the Southern Europeans. So they're the biggest white man's freaking thingy, man. Big up Sam M, Weebed, big up. I never did it in a minute ago. It's now. Rashma actor, speakers, please don't speak to me. I'm telling you, stop. Big up Rashma actor. She's a speaker school of skits nitro. Please don't speak to me. Don't speak to him. He's filthy, that guy. He's a filthy guy. He goes Speaker's Corner, he said. He's probably spoken to you. You know, Speaker's Corner skits go Speaker's Corner. I bet he's spoken to you and he doesn't tell you who you are. I'm still, I've got like maybe like 5 people I think it is, but I don't want to disclose because I don't want to scare him off. Yeah, Kashmiris, yeah, the Kashmiris, man. I'm not lying, yeah. Like in London, in London with the Pakistani community, although it is a problem because I know Redbridge has a big issue with cousin marriage. The North, man, oh my god, like, I don't think people understand. Like, when I'm at Speaker's Corner, I sometimes think I've met the same person. Like, there was one time when I started abusing this guy because I thought it was a guy that I met before, and I'm still not sure if it's the guy because they looked and sounded like TY or Amaraz. It's weird, man. It's weird. Like, the amount of goddamn inbreeding has just made them like completely merge into one person. TYO is a mutant. Oh my god, very job. Yeah, look, the problem I have with cousin marriage is I just cannot understand how you can see your cousin as something other than a sister. Like, the other week, I had all my nephews and nieces round, and they were all of an age like 18 and above, and they were all sleeping in the same room. Yeah. Now, this is where it becomes real, like, mind-bending to me, because I had my nephews and nieces around here, and to have a family function where you can relax, having the fact that you can have sex with your relatives must be a total mind F, because I would be concerned. Look, I'll give you an example. Like I said, my niece and nephews are around. All of them are above 18. They had to sleep downstairs because there were so many of them in the room, yeah. And I never for 1 second thought to myself, oh, maybe they might do something, because they behave, yeah, and have been brought up to be brothers and sisters, yeah. So I didn't keep on checking in the room. Oh, what are they doing? They literally were sleeping next to each other, yeah? And they're like a brother and sister would sleep next to each other. Now, I was thinking, yeah, imagine how could that happen in a Muslim or Pakistani household? Because imagine your brother, like, imagine the same scenario. I'm Pakistani though, yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm Pakistani. And my relatives, yeah, believe in marrying your cousins, yeah. That my people believe in marrying your cousins. How can they sleep in the same room then? I would be freaking paranoid. I'd be every second going, what's going on? What's going on? I'd be coming back and forth, checking in the room, going, what's going on here? I'd have binoculars out, going, oh, they better not touch my daughter, better not touch So it must make family functions really difficult. Like, this is one of the things, when I was growing up here, I had a lot of Pakistani mates who would say to me, Raj, I went to a Sikh wedding, and whenever I went there, the guys and girls were dancing with each other, and I can't believe they were dancing with each other. And I used to always be confused because I didn't understand that cousin marriage happened in the Pakistani or the Muslim community until I was around 14. So I grew up with Muslims all my life. And so I used to always get this, oh, your girls are dancing with guys at weddings. Our girls would never do that, yeah? And then I realized when I was 14, when I found out from one of my mates who was going to marry his cousin, yeah, they were trying to get married to his cousin, that when we're at our wedding, the Sikhs, the girl standing next to us, yeah, unless she is not related, so we're talking about first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, all of them are off limits. They're all family, yeah, and the closer the thing goes, the more close they are in terms of relative. So the cousin sister is literally your sister, and you can actually, you know, like there'll be no issue, like if you're hugging each other and stuff like that, because you're brothers and sisters. And so this is the one thing here that I kind of realized, that I think, yeah, it must mess with your mind. It's got to mess with your mind, because your family get-togethers are gonna be screwed, because literally they can screw each other. Think about this, yeah. If the same scenario that happened in my house, where I had my nephews and nieces sleeping in the same room all night and no one's checking them, but in another family they can marry your cousins, you could never have that happen. You would have to put them in separate rooms, lock them up, bloody well, put a chastity belt on there, everything. So yeah, it would be freaking like mind-bogglingly stressful, man. No wonder Pakistanis are so goddamn stressed out. No wonder they're so stressed out. What a bloody headache for that. That thing needs to stop, man. It needs to be made out. Actually, I'm saying this now. It needs to be outlawed. Yeah. It needs to be outlawed. Big up to JK. Big up to JK in the house. Don't worry, we're talking about cousin marriage again. Don't worry. Let me address again the Sikhs, because Hard Singh Wadawatch coming. I can't remember whether Hard Singh Wadawatch is gunning for me or not, because so many people gun for me all the time. I forget which ones I get on. Now, when it comes to the attacks, the murders of the 3 Sikhs who stabbed each other in what's it called, in Seven Kings, which is actually up the road from me. Let me just double check something before I say it. Yeah, my condolences to their families, though. My condolences to their family. I need to find out. I hope it's not somebody that I know. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the picture, let me take the picture. Sad, man. Sad. Very sad. Very sad. But let me just show you, because a lot of people are going to try and use this as a the Sikhs, yeah, because of their Qurban, the fact that they're allowed legally to wear a Qurban. That is because of that they're doing it. Now, let me show you the picture. And my condolences to these guys. Very sad. Very sad. I think there actually might be family members. Yeah, he lives. Oh, what a sad thing. Let me just show you why. And anyone now saying, because before I was not 100% sure, anyone now trying to equate this to the Quran, yeah, the Sikh ceremonial, our ceremony dagger. Look at the 3 Sikhs, yeah, that what killed each other. So RIP to my 3 Sikh bras, yeah, because they are still my brothers in faith. Harinder Kumar, Narinder Singh, and Baljit Singh. Condolences to the family. But have a look at the pictures, yeah. All 3 of them are what we can classify as a Munne. Yeah, Munne means in the Sikh community, Sikhs that are not wearing the turban. Yeah. So anyone trying to equate this to the Quran, we will know the reason you're doing it is because of your hatred for Sikhs, because you're going to try and conflate 3 non-baptized Sikhs who had a fight and it escalated to stabbing each other to the Sikh Quran, which is obviously not being worn by them because they were not baptized. They would not have been wearing a Quran. No Sikhs, yeah, no Sikhs would be having a Quran, yeah, if they're not religious. I've never met one, and I don't think you ever will. They get their head kicked in by the Sikh community if they ever did something like that. So it's sad to see. I reckon it was alcohol played a big part. Yeah, it could be Jay Jahal or something, because there's a pub in East Ham by Jay Jahal. He was a big kickboxer in the day. He owns a pub in thingy in thing. So here's baptized Sikhs, yeah. Look. Baptized Sikhs. Non-baptized Sikhs. Yeah, they're already doing that. They're saying they want to ban the Quran, they want to do this, and it's obviously, and I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember the pub's name. I went there a couple of times, man. There's a legendary kickboxer that used to go, that owns it, Jay Jahal or something like that. I can't remember, man. He's a freaking beast of a kickboxer. He used to own that pub up there. Didn't really know him, but I met him a couple of times. I can't remember, to be honest with you. So when it comes to this, let me say something to people. To my Sikh bras here, watch the chat and see who are the people that are gonna try and manipulate this to make it into the Quran, because this is let me explain something to anyone that doesn't know the area. Seven Kings here has a kind of a reputation for what we call freshies. Freshies are people come straight off the boat. So I know that over the last couple of years when I used to go down there, there used to be a lot of freshies and Sikhs, Sikh freshies, yeah, and there are a couple of them. And when they were down there, a lot of them to kind of kill time to a certain degree, you'd see them kind of drinking or stuff like that, and just chilling out in the thingy. Yeah, you have them in all communities and stuff. So I reckon what happened was that they probably had too much to drink, and then had an argument, and then it escalated, and they ended up fighting, which then went into what we now see as being a triple killing or a murder, and it's very sad to see it. I had been special. Actually, one of the right. So let me just one man was stabbed in the neck, shoulder, and arm and chest. while another had been smashed in the head with a hammer. So this is not really just a knife crime. It was also a hammer. Yeah. So we'll see whether people start taking that into consideration. Yeah. Yeah, said so. The number of the victims was one of his best friends. I said, oh, Crystal Palace, that bloody shithole. Yeah, I used to go Crystal Palace. Is that still open? It was about an incident in Crystal Palace. Let me just double check if it's the same place. If it's the same place, I'm shocked it's still oh, it's still there. Bloody still there. Let me just double check something because I'm just trying to check. And yes, I did used to go out. I'm sick and tired of people now saying Raj is some kind of freaking, like, I've never been anywhere. If you know the amount of places I went, you'll be freaking shocked. Everyone's have this kind of like perception that the Raj was some kind of like just suddenly popped out from nowhere and I've got no past. Yeah. This is the problem. A lot of the freshies that go there, and I know people are gonna say don't call them freshies, but that's kind of like what I kind of like would call them. All right, I'm gonna show people myself young, yeah. And before you lot go, Raj, what's happened to you? Raj, why have you gone so weird? This is me 20 years ago. Around 15, 20 years ago. I'm an old man now. This is me, yeah, during my time when I was a young guy. And I used to think, now look at this one, yeah. I'm on a dance floor. Yeah, and I did wear a bit of color for a bit. I was actually in good shape at that time. Look at me in the middle of the dance floor. Look. Young Raj. Dancing, yeah. Look at the wrong. Look at the wrong Raj here with my old friends. Look how skinny I was. Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, I'm embarrassed about the alcohol. Look at this drunk. Look at this drunk. Look. Oh, here's my other way. Little bloody Umberleys on the train. Because a lot of people think, look at this at a club. Look what I was doing. Look. Quite smart when I was younger. Have a look at this one. Raj just pulled. Look. Yeah, I mean, I was very thin there. I haven't been able to get back to that weight though. Yes, I don't think the Raj. Have a look at this one. I don't know what. I can't even remember that night, man. I was out of it on that night. Look. It's like a bloody lunatic. I can't remember half of my time. This is one of my favorite ones, yeah, because this one, yeah, is me at my prime. If you ever want to see the Raj, yeah, at the prime, when I was a perfect weight, I was training, and I was at the peak, yeah. I think I was probably around, how old was I? I was like 20. What was it? 2004. So you're looking at 16, 17 years ago. So you're looking at when I was around 29 or something, yeah. You're gonna be shocked, yeah, how good I look in this picture, yeah. Have a look at this. Yeah, I agree as well. I think I look better now. The reason being is because I think I was a bit too thin then. But have a look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I've been that jacket when I became more. I actually been that jacket, but that was at me at my prime. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It did have an effect when I went out. Yeah, because I realized when you train, you're more confident. Yeah, and for some reason, confidence, let's just say, is easier to do things. Yeah, like you don't have to try that much. I remember, like, I was like, wow, it's like, you know, when you train because you feel like you're kind of buff and stuff. So yeah, that was my prime. I'm always look back at that. I'm like, yeah, Raj is at his prime. I got hundreds of photos, man. Oh my god, I just can't bloody show them. I might do a whole live stream with my old photos because I'm sick and tired of people thinking that I've had no life and I've never been nowhere. Have a look at this one. The Labour Party. I met Tony Blair here. I'm going to start showing my pictures. Where was that? That was ages ago. Have a look. Tony Blair. I took this photo. Look. Who's that? I was on the stage. On the stage, yeah. Because I wear a turban. Have a look at this bloody picture. I don't know what I was doing there. Oh, what I was doing there. Have a look. Tony Blair. That's me actually taking the photo of Blair. Have a look at this. You know, I need to blur them out though. Look at me here. Look, cool dude. Young boy. I think I was around 20. Do you know where this was? There used to be a club called Limelights in the city, and this was the club that just before you went in. If someone knows this guy, he's from South. I've forgotten his goddamn name now. I forgot his name. These are some of my good mates. I'm still in contact with her. I saw her a little while ago. That one I can't remember. I'm still in contact with her. I just saw her. I think it was like 2 months ago. She lives in my area, so I'm still kind of see her sometimes. But have a look at that Raj. Look at me, cool dude. Look. So if anyone thinks that Raj has never had a life, look at this. I even used to have earrings. Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, I used to wear earrings. Oh my god, have I still got a hole in my ear? Oh yeah, I still got a bloody hole here. How weird. Yeah, I used to have earrings in as well. Actually, an earring in one ear. Yeah. I don't know why, but have a look. Hold on. I need to do a new show, like, because I'm sick and tired of people thinking that I've never lived or done anything. I've had quite a varied life, man. I've just become a hermit recently, like, you know, last couple of years when I stopped drinking and stuff. I'm an old man. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this Raj. Look at this Raj. Yeah. Oh, let me show you. God, I can't even show the pictures because there's so many fake. I'll have to start loading them and actually blurring. Look at Raj with these red turban days. This was the greatest ever year of my life. Yeah. With this, yeah, was my greatest ever life. I think I was around 23, I think. This is the greatest ever. So if you look at one thing here, a lot of people say I just started wearing the turban recently. These pictures are from 20, 30 years ago. In fact, when I was younger, I always wore my turban. It was only I got into a bad habit around 8-9 years ago. Prior to that, 99.9%, yeah, of my time I wore my turban all the time. And I'm not gonna, you know, I should really wear it more all the time, but I have to admit right now, as I got older, I do it like maybe like 70% of the time I do wear my turban, 70% of the time I don't. I mean 30% of the time I don't. Where's the bloody pictures? I need to do a whole show on Raj and his youth. I need to blur out the pictures because I can't show so many pictures because of the bloody old thingy. Where is that stupid thing? I'm sure I've got more. Let me just find something. And you have to remember, at that time, there wasn't cameras like camera phones now. So when you took photos, oh yeah, this is me when I used to do my election campaigning. I used to do a lot of this like a Labour Party conference. Where is that bloody thing? Have a look at this. Yeah, Raj driving. Look. That's actually a Mercedes. That was a BMW. This is Raj canvassing outside a polling station. Look. Look. If anyone wants to get triggered, yeah, have a look at this. What am I doing? What's that on my chest? What am I doing outside a polling station with leaflets? I used to, in my young days, I was so goddamn involved in thinking, watch this. What's this? Look at this bloody picture. Vote Labour. Yeah, I was totally involved. I was like so into it. Look at this. Freaking my local MP getting elected. I was like so proud of him. Look, I don't even know the man. Oh, what was going on there? Like freaking craziness, man. Oh, here's another one. Look. So to anyone that thinks that I used to always be on the right, my political views have changed quite a lot. Look at this cool dude. That cool dude. Oh, I actually can't show these guys. These are two of my best mates in my days. I did used to have friends, you know. I did used to have friends. These used to be. This guy used to be my best mate for years, man. I saw him there a couple of months ago. I'm not gonna lie, but the Raj. Yeah, the Raj. I really want to find one particular photo. I've got so many goddamn photos, but I hate actually showing them because I know someone's going to start doing some kind of like jiggery pokery with my pictures. Let me say something, Sophia. Yeah, I did. The problem is, yeah, I have very few memories for around, I think it was 2000. No, actually 1996 until around 2009. I have very few memories of going out because when I used to go out, I used to get smashed. Yeah, I had a big problem. Like when I'd go out, I wouldn't just have one or two. I'd get to the point I can't remember nothing. Yeah, and now, like, so when I used to go out, that was my biggest problem. I couldn't control my drink. That's why I have to stop because my situation with drinking is not good. When I start, I'm like a tap. Bloody, I might have to do a whole show on this, to be honest with you. Might have to do a whole show on the life of the Raj before I become this crazy lunatic who bloody well is just arguing all day. Yeah. Arguing all day. I don't know where I put it, man. I wish I could find that. What I wanted to find. Oh, actually, I might find it, but I have to be very careful about what I show, man. Very careful. Because this is going to be a bit of a shit show. Yeah, I think God is stopping me from showing it. But what I'm gonna do here, what I'm gonna actually do here, is I'm gonna do a whole show here just to debunk the myth that the Raj, yeah, was suddenly just popped out from nowhere, and I've never left my room, and I am some kind of new creature from the Black Lagoon of the Punjab. Yeah, I have had. Oh, Simon, you're here. Yeah, listen, look at this. Yeah, get triggered, Simon. Watch this. Watch this. Is Simon there? Hold on. What's that one? You want to see Lefty Raj? Simon, you're here. You want to see the Lefty Raj? A Labour conference at the Old Vic. At the Old Vic. On the stage I was. I was on the stage with dun dun dun. Where is that bloody nutcase? Where is that bloody nutcase? Who was I on the stage with? This is me taking a photo from the stage. Tony Blair. This is when he was actually Prime Minister, though. Not even. That's the Gordon Brown. I'm literally that far away. I actually shook his hand. There he is, and there's Gordon Brown. Yeah, this was a time on their peak, when they were peak of their peak of their peak. Look at this, Simon. As people, so this is a polling station. I used to go around people's houses here like this. Imagine this year, turning up to your house like 7 in the morning. Tuck, 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 tuck. Yes, my name's Raj. I'm from the member of the Labour Party. I would appreciate if you would vote Tony Blair and to vote for the Labour MP. And half the time they just shut the door in your face, and the other time they'll bloody well start arguing with you. Like, and then what I used to do when it was the election, I would stand outside the polling station pestering people. Think about it. As they're going into the polling station, I'm still harassing them. Like, vote Labour, vote Labour, vote Labour, vote Labour. Are you going to vote? Are you going to vote? Are you going to vote Labour? Are you going to vote for Labour? Are you going to vote? They're crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Look at the cool Raj. People saying I don't drive. I drove that car around I can drive you. Let me explain the problem. This is my mate's car. I was just testing it. The thing is here, I don't drive because I don't like driving. It doesn't mean I can't drive. I've passed my test. I used to have a Peugeot 206. I still got it actually. It's an old car. It's actually sat around my sister's house, but I don't drive it. Yeah. So I actually drove that car around the freaking car park. I mean the thingy. So look at that one. Ah, big up Arisid RG. He's back. Arisid is back. Arisid is back. Arisid is back. Get up, RG. Look at this goddamn nutcase. At the Labour Party. Oh, please, Arisid, can I have some more? Please, Arisid, can I have some more? Oh, yeah, big up to Betty, man. Big up to Betty. Congratulations on her pregnancy. Cannot wait to see her and young children and everybody kind of like, getting upset that the Betty has now got Betty number 2. And that Betty number 2 is going to be running things. Look at this with my younger days. Simon, what do you think of Raj when he was like 19? I think I was like 21 there. And look at the Raj when I was 21. Look. Just before I was going to a club. Look at that Raj. How happy I was then. I was out of my head though, man. Out of my head there. I'm not gonna lie, I was out of my head. Look at my eyes. I was out of my head. I remember that day. I was out of my head. What happened? I'm an old man. What does age do? Do you know what I find strange here? Like, I'm 44. This is me when I was like 21. Like, you can't expect me to freaking well, like, still be going out clubbing and stuff when I'm freaking well an old man now. I'm not a youngster, you nutcase. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why people expect me to freaking be running around like I was a 21-year-old. I've done my shit, man. I did it. I've been there. I've got the ticket. I had a good time. Now, obviously now, look at this. Look at this, Simon. Look at me in the club. Where's Banksy, that little prick? Because he was saying I don't go nowhere. Oh my God, what's going on? Where's Banksy, that little prick? Look at that. Look at that cool dude. Look at me when I was younger, Mad Dunya. Mad Dunya's in the house, yeah? These guys, yeah, literally think that the Raj has never left his room. I had a really hectic social life when I used to drink. Let me tell you something. When I used to drink, I was an amazing drunk. This is the thing, yeah. People used to like me when I used to drink because I used to be very fun. Yeah, like, you know, I was the type of person that, you know, when I used to drink, I used to be very fun. I was very quiet when I wasn't. I know it sounds a bit strange, but when I used to drink, I was very quiet. I was very thingy. Now I'm just angry a lot. Like before, I used to drink and then, yeah. Well, I'm going to do a whole compilation video of all my thingies blurring out the thingy. You know, like the Raj. Look at this Mad Dunya. Look at the Raj, yeah, on the dance floor popping some beats. Skinny Raj in a club. Look at him. This is me there. Look. You lot only see the old Raj, the old angry Raj. This is the happy young Raj. See this guy here? He's Bengali. See this guy here? See this guy here? He's Bengali. Look at me in the Bengali. Look how close he was. I used to get on with Bengalis until I went Speaker's Corner. I'm not going to lie. I had very few issues with Bengalis, apart from in 95. What was it? 95 when they started chucking bottles at me outside the Hippodrome. Other than that, and other time when they attacked me on Romford Road. Other than that, I haven't really had massive issues. Look at the Raj here. Look, chirpsing. Yeah, Sasrikaji already said, yeah. Till Bande were stabbed, yeah. Sikhs were stabbed in Seven Kings. Not Gursikhs though. They were look at that one. Look at the Raj with his goddamn leather jacket, like some kind of cool dude. Yeah, yeah. Not plastic. Let me explain something. I'm going to start telling some of my life stories here. I don't like saying them because people will start using it against me. But I've actually, yeah, I've had bottles literally chucked at my back, smashed on my back and stuff like that. It's been freaking crazy. I had a brick thrown at me once. Let me say something. I've actually had a brick thrown at my head once. A full-on brick. When I was around 18. Freaking, it was unbelievable, man. Someone chucked a freaking a brick, yeah, because I don't want to go into details, and then I slipped over and I sprained my foot for freaking 2 weeks. Yeah, God knows. Yeah, brick, full on brick. It was a massive brick. If it hit me in the head, T-virus. It was a mix. It wasn't just Somalians. It was a mix of guys. So it was white, Somalians, like some black guys and the Asians. It was a mix of everything. Let's just say I was in a weird place in that day, and I probably shouldn't have been there. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy. So I don't do that bullshit. My mates do that. Look at the let me tell you what happens when you do ganja, yeah? Watch this. When you do that bullshit. Watch this shit. See these two guys, yeah, were two of my best mates. Both of them, yeah, are hooked on freaking weed. Yeah. Did you see these two guys? I don't want to say who they are, yeah, because I don't want to think them, yeah. These two guys. This one here, bloody hell, man. Like, this guy can barely walk anymore. And this one here, luckily he's still okay. But this one here is ruined from ganja. This one here. This one. I don't want to say who his name is. The East London boy. This one here. This one is still alright because he stopped about. This one's wrecked. I saw him, yeah. Oh my God. It looked like he'd come out of some freaking crack movie. Like some crack fiend. Like freaking, I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, dude, man, what's happened to you, man? What has happened to you? Look at this. Everyone's saying I've always been on the left. Proof. Raj was a full-on bloody Labour lunatic. Look. Luckily, I got photos to prove that some of the stuff I was saying was true. Because I can't find a lot. Nowadays, when people think of now because today everybody takes photos everywhere, they don't realize there was a point in time taking a photo wasn't that easy. You had to have a camera with you. And so when I was younger, in order to get the photo, the thing is you had to have the camera, didn't you? So not many people would walk around with cameras. And so you don't get a lot of photos and stuff like that from me. But luckily I've got a couple that I can prove that the Raj did have some semblance of life. I'm gonna actually, do you know what? Yeah, I'll forget about it now because I need to go here. But I'm gonna actually do a show just to debunk the myth that the Raj has never lived, that the Raj has just suddenly popped out of nowhere and he has no goddamn thing. Look at this goddamn weirdo. Look, on trains. The old Raj was not look at this. '20s. I was around 25 or something. 25, 26. I was young. Have a look at this one. Now, for people that don't understand, yeah, what I'm doing, you know, when you do Bhangra, you go brah, yeah, brah, yeah. So that's like when you're doing Bhangra, yeah, you go brah, like, yeah. And so in this one, I'm doing that. Look, with my lip, I'm going like brah. Look at that. I was dancing and brah, brah. Yeah. Anyway, I need to shoot anyway, man. It's good to kind of look through my pictures. I'll find a lot more. I've got loads lying around, man. Got loads lying around. Need to go through them to prove that, you know, the Raj has lived. I'm an old man now. Leave me alone. I've been to thousands of freaking clubs, man. I don't want to be going clubbing anymore. Sick and tired of everyone saying, Raj, you haven't done nothing. You've never been anywhere. You've never been with no one. You've never done this. You've never done this. Trust me, I've lived a life, man. I'm not as innocent as people think. I just don't disclose much because I don't want people to use things against me. Tony Blair is yeah, I mean, now looking back, I don't support Tony Blair, but at that time, I was a full-on Blairite. And obviously, I did believe him when it comes to the weapons of mass destruction. Looking back now, obviously, I made a mistake. And in hindsight, yeah, I agree that, you know, he either intentionally or was manipulated by thingy. So, like you said, like I said, here's Tony Blair. This is me standing right here taking the photo. Gordon Brown. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyone saying that I'm lying about my stories about being in the Labour Party, meeting Tony Blair and all that, I've got the pictures there. I actually look human there now, looking like a lot of yes, yes, I've aged. I've aged. I've aged. What can I do? And I nearly got married once. I don't want to go into it, but I don't want to go into it. Because the problem is, the more I tell people about me, the more ammo they have against me. So I don't want to tell people, man. Like, this is why I try and keep as much as my personal life, my pre-Raj days. Because right now, I'm like a different person. I don't drink. You might say I'm worse because I actually was quite a fun-loving kind of guy then when I used to drink. I was quite good. I'm talking about when I used to drink, but like when I wasn't drinking, I was pretty miserable. Like when I was drunk, I was a good drunk. I'm not gonna lie. Punjabi Crocodile Dundee, Rayon said. Real Mo, that was Raj in 1980. Bloody hell, I was still a goddamn little kid then, man. Man, why this? Yan of China, you little nutcase. How many dogs you eating today? Yeah. He said, why wasn't you married? I was nearly. I don't want to go into it. I'm not going into it. Let's just say I was nearly. Oh God, I was nearly. I have to admit, I was nearly once. I don't like to talk about it because I know people are gonna freaking start. The problem is, yeah, when you tell someone something, like you open up a can of worms. So if you say something, they'll start scratching. Then they'll find out more. Then they'll find out more. And what happens here, I've realized over the years, people the more they know about you, the more they can use against you to manipulate you or to try and attack you. So I try my best not to talk about pre-Speaker's Corner Raj as much because I do see myself as a different person now to the Raj of those days. Yeah. Anyone starting to say that the Sikhs that who killed each other in the fight were using Kripans, every Sikh, if you're in the chat, you need to challenge their lies because the guys that done the attack on each other, none of them were baptized Sikhs, not a single one of them. Yeah, all of them were what's called monne, meaning didn't have a turban. And all of them, one of the guys actually got killed by a hammer, not a Kripan. Here's a picture of the guys again. Do they look like baptized Sikhs to you? No. They're not baptized Sikhs. So anybody that starts manipulating it to say ban the Kripan, ban the Kripan. Why aren't there much live streams? Why aren't there? Yeah, I think they're starting to do live streams again from Speaker's Corner, Betty. But what happened was that the signal, because of the what's it called? No, I didn't used to be friends with Adnan Rashid, you little nutcase. I'm actually old. Do you know what's weird? I think I'm older than Adnan Rashid. Like, could you imagine that? What's this? All right. Let me have a look. Oh, the link doesn't work. Actually, just another me. You'd be wrong about that, but no woman ever wanted you. Let me say something here. When I was I'm talking about my prime. I'm talking about like at the peak of my prime. You'd be surprised. Like I think you'd be surprised, man. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Because when the Raj was like really looked after himself and was like this. Look at this Raj at his peak. I was on 25, around 11 stone. I was training, and trust me, I was a pretty cool dude. Yeah, young Raj. Yeah, so yeah, forget about what you see now. I'm an old man. There was a time that, yes, I was not this weird Raj that you see. I was a bit more, let's just say, a bit more like this. Can't get back to that. It's just too much hard work, man. I had to train. I actually used to go and train. Yeah. Big up to. Did you listen to the thing before? I hope you can challenge them on the Arab slave trade. So to Jane Speaker's Corner, Khan was talking about his great grandparents, granddad going to a port in the Ottoman Empire in the 1900s and picking up what's it called, a black African, sub-Saharan African slave from a ship and then marrying her in the 1900s. And Pakistani Spect said pretty much nothing in terms of that. No, let me tell you the trade-off, with the drink, because Mad Dunya, says, how comes you become a bastard now? Now, let me explain something. There's a trade-off. One thing that alcohol used to do for me was I do like arguing. What people need to understand is this. I like a good argument. When I was younger, I was very quiet. I didn't. As I got older, I got a bit more vocal, and I like to argue. Now, the thing about alcohol was that it kind of like I used to drink like once a week. I didn't drink a lot, but I didn't drink every day. But when I'd go out, it kind of be like a pressure being released. I used to drink. So that used to make me a bit more calm. I used to work and stuff like that. And even at work, I used to have a bit of arguments, but it wasn't that serious. The problem is I've given up the alcohol and I replaced it with shouting. The alcohol's gone. When I'm drunk, I'm a real fun guy, man. Like, I'm a fun person, someone you can have a good time with, very huggy kind of guy. I don't get angry when I'm drunk. And then once I took it, when I've taken it out, I had to replace it with something, and I replaced it with drawing and shouting. I love a good argument, and the only reason I had to go Speaker's Corner is because in my home I was arguing with my brother, my nephew, my sisters about politics, about this, about that, and it got to the point, that people were thinking that we were fighting all the time in the house, but I was very vocal about my views. So Speaker's Corner has allowed me to go somewhere where I can still vent off that stuff within a controlled environment, because otherwise I would just be doing it in my house or wherever, or drinking. So for me, it's a good place to release energy without having to do it in ways that I think are more unproductive. Like drinking, is not good for me, because I'm a very, very, very not very good at controlling my alcohol. So when I drink, I'll have one drink. I'm a type of person, I'll say, I'll have one drink, and then next thing you know, I'm out of it. I'll have like freaking 10 by the end of the night or something like that. Yes, look at this. Anybody knows where this is, If you really know about clubs, Limelights. If you have not been Limelights in the 90s, like I have, you have not been to one of the best Asian regular clubs ever. And look at the Raj at 22. Look at the Raj at 22. Oh, look how happy this Raj was at to do. This year is a picture, one of the very few pictures of me totally out of my head. You know, my eyes, you can't tell, but I was finished on that day, man. Like totally out of my head. This is totally Mong Raj, like when my head was like literally, like I was just finished that day, man. Like I think I had like probably like freaking 8, 9 snake bites or something like that. I was finished. I can't believe. I remember that day, man. Well, actually, no, 6, 7. Yes, sir. Look, I got more. I don't want to show their faces, but I still speak to this one. That one I saw a while ago. I still when I see them, we'll say hello and stuff. Look, the young Raj was a little bit much more. Oh God! Can't believe I used to wear earring though. I can't remember wearing it, to be honest with you, but you can see the side here. My earring is there. A bit weird. Look. I just felt my ear, yeah. I just felt my ear. I still got the hole in my earring for my earring. I can't believe I still got the hole in my earring. It's a bit weird. I thought it would have closed up by now because I don't know. I don't remember even freaking wearing it that much. Yeah. Anyway, now I look like something out of the Jihadi movie or something like, like some madman, like thinking it. All right. Anyway, I have to shoot now. Anyway, I probably might do a whole show, yeah, just on my old pictures. I'm gonna look through all my old pictures. I'm gonna edit them so you can't see the faces of the people because I don't want people getting doxed and stuff that they used to know the Raj. So guess it. I want to ask you, Mad Dunya. I wonder if you could guess if this guy is, yeah. This guy is an East London Bengali guy. This one sitting next to me here. This guy here. I'm not going to say his name. This guy here, one of my best mates for a long time, is a Bengali guy. So to Rashma, I never really had problems with Bengalis. I used to always get on with Bengalis until Speaker's Corner and that bloody Mad Dunya, that goddamn Faz of Fogafaz. The cater from the Black Lagoon of Bangladesh, where they steal cows and spit out bung. Is it bun? I need to get the lyrics right. So now I'm not going to show his face because then you're going to start hassling the guy. So this guy's a Bengali guy. He was a mate of mine for a long time. So out of Speaker's Corner, my issues have never really been with Bengalis, actually. I've always kind of got on with Bengalis, yeah. When I used to sit with some of my Bengali mates, we used to love to bitch about Pakistanis. I'm not going to lie. We used to love to bitch about Pakistanis. And I remember that. We'd just sit there like, those bloody Pakistanis. Those bloody Pakistanis. we used to have a good old laugh because, you know, I don't know. Bengalis used to have a few issues. I don't know about now. They seem to be a bit more closer. Anyway, I need to go anywhere, man. Yeah. So Rashma, in real life, I don't really have problems with Bengalis. Yeah, I haven't really had many issues. Even in India, Bangladesh is over here, the Punjab is over here. So even the historical issues aren't really with Bengalis. When you're talking about grooming, not really with Bengalis, it's the Pakistanis. The only thing is obviously Islam has kind of creeped in, and so they've got their Muslim Brotherhood. And so my problem is mainly with people from the north. I'm not going to lie, because of the historical differences that we have about the Islamic conquest and stuff. So all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just these lunatics, Mad Dunya. Do you know what I equate it to? You know when people say to me, Raj, we've never met a Sikh like you. You make me dislike all Sikhs. My experience with Mad Dunya, Foga Faz, and all of these people are the same. In my real life, outside, I've always had a pretty good relationship with Bengalis until I met these ones. They start to make me dislike Bengalis. Like I don't dislike Bengalis, but I dislike that type of Bengali. To me, for these kind of like Mad Dunya, I like the kind of foot soldiers, kind of like doing their kind of little bidding for their Pakistani masters. You know, we want to protect our Pakistani brothers. We will protect them from the big bad Raj. Yeah. All right, so I was about to go here, but I've got to say one more thing here about Mohib. That little cockroach, man. Oh my God. I'm gonna recalculate, yeah, the biggest pussy old Bengalis. Because I will say something, yeah. Bengalis on the overall, yeah, are tough little bastards, yeah. I don't like to swear, but I've met some, yeah, that are freaking titchy and they're freaking beasts, yeah. And I've got to say, they got heart, man. When it comes to fighting, the little bloody Bengalis, yeah, those lunatics, yeah, like, I've seen one guy, yeah, one of my mates, he was freaking that small. For some reason, he picked a fight with a 6'5" man, yeah. He got his ass caned, but the guy was still like, yeah. Like, so I've got to give them, they got heart. I'm not going to say I don't say they're weaklings or anything. I've got to give them their props, yeah. I don't think Bengalis are weaklings. But there's 3 now, yeah, that are disgrace to the Bengali community. First of all, I thought it was Saeed, yeah. I used to do it like Saeed, Nasir, and I can't remember the one. Now I have to recalculate because now I think Mohib's the worst one. This little goddamn Pokemon looking retard is on a next level of retardations. The best thing he's doing for Bengalis here is he's doing so much damage to the Bengalis' reputation. Yesterday he was on here in the middle of the goddamn morning here, and he was calling himself. What was he calling himself? That I'm a what's that word he was saying? He was saying he was something. He's got like a teddy bear avatar, yeah, and he was calling himself some kind of like weird thing, yeah. So that bloody little weirdo, man, he's the worst. Now I'm gonna recalculate. The reason why he's the worst, yeah, he talks like a roadman online, yeah. When you meet him in real life, yeah, I swear to God, man, he looks like a freaking down and out bloody Bollywood villain. Yeah, like one of these weird little creatures from the, you know, have you ever watched a Bollywood movie? They always have this weird little villain, yeah, that is like really weird, has weird hair, and kind of like, you know, looks like a bit of a freak, yeah. But everyone, he's kind of the laughing stock of the villains. Like, so you'd have the big villain, and then you'd have the little villain that's a bit of a weirdo. He is the little Bengali weird villain, yeah. Like that guy, yeah, I have to talk to him when I see him. I'm gonna get him on camera actually because he talks a lot of shit, yeah. He goes under the name Beloving, yeah. I didn't realize Beloving was that goddamn weirdo. The Bengali community, yeah, like the way people say to me that the Sikhs, yeah, need to start calling out me, you need to start clearing up your Bengali community, yeah. There are 3 Bengalis, yeah, actually 4. Actually, let me calculate, that are disgraceful. There is that goddamn little Pokemon weirdo. What's his name? That freaking Mohib. Yeah. There's Sideo that does the poo face when he's angry. You had that Nasir. What a goddamn cockroach. That little goddamn cockroach Nasir. Do you know when online he's such a mouthy little prick? When I met him in real life, he's like, Raj, how you doing, Raj? Yeah, you doing good. I said, just say me the same energy in real life, yeah. And then the worst of the worst, the leader of the disgrace of the Bengali community is Fogafaz, the creature from the Black Lagoon of Bangladesh. Please, Arasid, can I have some more? Please, Arasid, can I have some more? Please, Arasid, can I have some more? Fogafaz, buying cows from his village, stealing cows from his village, picking up pawn. Fogafaz, the disgrace of Bangladesh. Please, Arasid, can I have some more? So my village can get some electricity and a KFC. Please, Arasid, can I have some more? So my village can get some water and a McDonald's. Please, Arasid, I want to spit some pawn. I want to steal some cows. I want to spit pawn 24/7. Fogger, Faz. Well, I got that out of my system. Yeah. You need to sort your community out as well to the Bengalis, man. Don't let them shame you like this, man. You're better than that. I've never met Bengalis like this before. You're better than that, man. Because I've never really had an issue with Bengali community, man, until now. I was like, I might just stay for 2 more minutes for my favorite inbred. The favorite inbreds in the house. Our very own sloth. Our very own sloth has turned up, yeah, from the Goonies. Now, because you had my avatar up, yeah, for quite a few days, yeah, I'm gonna, give myself a bit of leeway and allow myself to you know what I'm gonna do, don't you? Because you had my avatar up, you've changed it now, but you was running around with that avatar on for a couple of days. I might, yeah, you know, I might just let me just see where I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if TYO starts to try and manipulate the situation with the Sikhs being killed or killing each other in Seven Kings to the Quran. I want to see if he's going to start doing that. That would be very interesting to see. Because I reckon he's probably started to do it, like to start saying, yeah, let's ban the Quran. Even though the 3 guys that were actually killed each other, one of them was killed by a hammer. The other 2 were not even like, they're literally like were Monnev. They basically didn't even have the turban or nothing. So yeah, let's give little old TYO a present. Which one's TYO? Oh, man, bear pig Sunday. Man, bear pig. Man, bear pig. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I'm gonna, you know, just so for my little Kashmiri degenerate, you know, I'm just showing people that the Raj you see today, this old Raj, who everyone assumes was never ever gone anywhere, was actually quite a smart young man at one point in my 20s. Used to like go out all the time, do my thing. I was actually quite a, you know, quite a smart young guy. Obviously, I've now gone mad. So yeah, look what he's writing. You can see what he's trying to do. It's interesting that, you know, this guy is such a degenerate. Have a look at this, TYO. This is why you hate the Sikhs. Because we're cool. Oh. Yeah, the Raj was a bit of a, can't say too much, but let's just say I wasn't as innocent as you might think. You might. What? So what did you mean then, TYO, when you said that Adnan is a fairy tale killer? What fairy tale are you talking about? See, look at this. Bangra Raj. We don't marry our sisters. Let me explain something again to TYO, because I think it's important, yeah. I was saying before that, oh, no, let me tell you something, Shirky Stevens. Let me tell you something. You need to understand something. This TYO is the biggest manipulator of Sikhs. What he will do is to pretend that he respects the Sikh gurus. In reality, he only respects Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He does not respect any of the other gurus. He is more of a Guru Nanak Dev Ji follower, which does not make him respecting Sikhs, because Sikhism is more than just about. I didn't say Kuli, you little prick. Did I say I was a player? I'm just saying to people, I had a life outside of this area when I was young. It doesn't mean I was a player. I was never a player. But if you think I'm just some innocent young guy that never did anything that like people think, then that's what I'm trying to prove to you. I wasn't that innocent. I just don't disclose my personal life to everybody because they can start using it against me. So no one's ever said he's a player. I was far from a player. I was a right little prick. Trust me. I used to freaking well, like really speak my mind. Kuli Verdi, man, you're very preachy and annoying. I'm not gonna lie, you do piss me off, man. Like, luckily, you know, you say some sense once in a while, but most of it's bakwas and freaking goddamn dribble starts pissing me off. I'm like, dude, I might have to block you at some point if you don't start freaking stop crying. I don't mind people advising me, but when you're constantly going, Raj, don't say this, Raj. Oh, shut your mouth. I'm going to say Saeed for you like your little goddamn bandar. Who are you to me? I'm going to start saying Saeed for you. Am I your goddamn little chamcha or something? Some bandar that I'm going to be performing for you so you're happy. No, I'm going to tell you to shut your mouth. Yeah. And if you don't want to be here, then leave, Ganjar. I'm not forcing you to watch me. Put Dida. So have a look at so to any Sikhs here, read this. That thing TYO is a decent guy. Read. He says, now we was referring to Adnan Rashid, and when Adnan Rashid, that Guru said Guru Tegh Bahadur was a killer, that's why he got executed. He goes, all I have to say is this: Adnan Rashid is like a dagger to the heart, isn't it? Now he's saying a dagger to the heart. He says he's a fairy tale killer. Now let me say something to you. He is saying, yeah, he's saying that Adnan Rashid's version of history is the truth, and our version is a fairy tale. When he's saying that, if you think because he goes in a live stream and for show he pretends he supports Sikhs, you are stupid. You are stupid. This guy is one of the biggest anti-Sikh person I've met. Do you know why he's more dangerous than other people? Because he pretends to love Sikhs. Yeah. In reality, he's a Guru Nanak Dev Ji fellow who believes Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a Sufi Muslim. He doesn't even know the bare basics of any of the other gurus. Not even anything. And I tested him in the back. Yeah, and when I say tested him in the back, I don't mean like that. I tested him in the back chat with a freaking thingy. He knew nothing past the first guru. And he didn't even know that the first Guru Nanak Dev Ji was against a lot of the practices of Islam. So for him to support Guru Nanak Dev Ji actually makes him go against his own religion. Because Guru Nanak Dev Ji was against praying towards the Kaaba. So do you agree with Guru Nanak Dev Ji on that? TYO? Do you agree with Guru Nanak Dev Ji criticizing Muslims for praying towards the Kaaba and saying it's pointless, that God is everywhere? And you shouldn't pray towards the Kaaba for whatever reasons. Because if you do, then you picking up Guru Nanak Dev Ji is going against your own faith. Sophia Lewis, what are you saying, man? Oh, I better not say that. I'm not going to say that. Yeah. So do you agree with that? Because if you do, I think your Muslim brothers are going to have a little bit of a word with you. Do you know that within Sikhism, yeah, that we don't believe in it? You cannot eat halal. It's forbidden for the Sikhs, man. Do you think, you know, the Sikhs agree with circumcision? It's forbidden. So you can see what he says. I love Guru Nanak Dev Ji more than you, Raj. Now to the Muslims in the chat, yeah, think about what he's saying. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was somebody that criticized Islam. He said, although he had a lot of love for Islam, he believed Islam had become ritualistic and some of the practices like praying towards a Kaaba were not right. So when he says he loves Guru Nanak Dev Ji more than me, yeah, he is saying that he goes against the mainstream Islamic thought on the net, especially. Yeah. So we have to see if he, yeah, all right, really? Listen to what young Ottoman said. Let me ask the Sikhs, yeah, what did Guru Nanak Dev Ji openly criticize praying towards the Kaaba to the Sikhs? Did Guru Nanak Dev Ji openly criticize praying towards the Kaaba? Yeah, what I'm saying to you, Sir Keith Stevens, do not get fooled by this guy. He's the biggest manipulator of Sikhs I've ever met, because he comes in with the Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ka Fateh, and then he says the most disgraceful stuff about Sikh people, the men, the gurus and stuff like this, man. And he agrees with what's his name, Adnan Rashid, on the actual historical aspects that he's come from, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a murderer and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Now he's going to use the excuse, he does it because I'm doing X, Y, Z to him. Now, if he was truly a righteous person and truly loved, because let me say something, I don't go around saying I love Prophet Muhammad or Islam, do I? I don't say that. He says that. He says he loves Sikhi. He says he loves the Sikhs. I don't put that criteria on myself. You do. Yeah. So when you're saying that, and then you're saying stuff about Sikh men being drunks, that's why they girls you go Pakistani men that we're weak and we're this, yeah. That is not a love for a community. That's freaking dissing the community to a next level. So don't talk to me and try and manipulate Sikhs around here. Some of the Sikhs are pussios of the highest order. So no matter what you say to them, they're fooled by this guy because they don't want to get bent over here and shafted in the bund by these guys because they're too shit scared. Instead, what they'll do is like, yeah. I thank you, TYO. Thank you for not, abusing me. Thank you for not abusing me. Yeah. So when it comes to this situation, yeah, you need to understand there are very manipulative people trying to use this kind of like the Sikh angle to be, and they use me as a proxy, yeah, in order to say stuff. So in reality, what TYO and some people like him do is they'll go, we're attacking Sikhism because of Raj. But in reality, they don't, what they're saying, they truly believe. He believes that Sikh men, yeah, are weak and that we're drunks, and that's why our daughters and our sisters go Pakistani men or get groomed. This is what he believes, because he said it to me on plenty of occasions. And I've got to go by what he's saying and not by his bullshit walking around pretending to be friends of the Sikhs, because I've seen another side to that guy that you guys don't know. Yeah. If you knew the kind of stuff that he says, yeah. Have a look at this. He's the one that started this thing. Don't want to show it too much. One of the biggest slanders that is done against me and my family was done from this guy. So don't try and make it as this guy is some kind of nice guy and stuff. I'm not buying it, man. I'll tell you that straight now. Any people that start saying that this guy is a friend of the Sikhs and he's this and he's that. Hey, Sheikh One. Look at this one. Taliban Zindabad. I don't know if Taliban's actually in a legal crew, a legal thing. You know what? I need to shoot, man. I did want to show something just to show people what this people are. I'm sick and tired of people being so easily manipulated just because the guy says one good thing, defending Sikhs, but then says and then says all the other bullshit. You're oh yeah, don't worry about me. He's a nice guy. He says Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. He believes in the God. He's happy, for Sikhs to come down and to their holy stuff. Let me explain something about one of the biggest annoyingest things here that I hear from Pakistanis here when they say to me, Raj, your holiest shrines are in our country. We look after them. You should be grateful. We look after your, we look after your holiest shrines. And I will say again, that is like a mother saying she feeds her kids. You don't brag about feeding your kids. That is something you're supposed to do. The same way when you look after people's religious shrines, because it's in your country, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't brag about it and expect people to be grateful to you, because that's the bare minimum a country or a state, is supposed to do for its people. You don't have people going around going, you should be grateful we allow you to, we look after your mosques. No, that's what you're supposed to do, you idiot. Oh, we look after your gurdwara. We look after your gurdwara. Okay, all right, I'm going to have to be totally kind of freaking more like, can't criticize anything about Pakistan. Let me say something. Ask any Pakistani, when they're criticizing India for their rightful abuses to the minorities like the Muslims, which I condemn, ask them, can a Sikh, remember they always say Sikhs are treated greatly in Pakistan, can a Sikh become the president of Pakistan? Can a Sikh become the president of Pakistan? And let me tell you something, you can't. Don't talk to me like we're treated equally, that we are treated equally, And now read this, Rod, make sure you have your £20 jizya. It doesn't matter, I still can get it because I have you do understand I can still get it because I am actually the owner of the channel. You do get that, don't you? You do get that, don't you? So he's taking the piss out of the Kartarpur corridor, by saying, like a lot of other Muslims say, that we're paying jizya when we go in there. And then you expect me to kind of like be cool with the guy. It doesn't matter, I can still get it because I'm actually actually own the channel, so any deleted message I can still retrieve. You do know that, don't you? I don't know if you know that, so I just need to go through my thingy and re-get it. I need to shut up and go now. But like I said, I don't want no one, coming up to me and saying, TYO, Go Speakers Corner, any of these guys, are cool with Sikhs, because I've seen time and time again, these individuals, do not like Sikhs. It comes out indirectly by them attacking me, because if they truly love the Sikhs, they would not even come out of their mouth. They'll be like, no, I don't believe that. I'm not going to say that just to attack one person. What they will do is that they'll keep that shut and be like, okay, we love the Sikh people, but instead what they do, they don't give a shit. They actually now look at Go Speakers Corner, another guy that always pretends to be good friends with Sikhs. Adnan Rashid, says historical facts. And one of the historical facts, here's the one that always read this. Now, what he wrote was, Sikhs have a drinking problem which leads to daddy issues with their women. They end up with Pakistani boyfriends, and when it doesn't work out, they go home and they're forced to claim grooming. Now, if any Sikh thinks that is acceptable, and you're still cool with this guy, I'm sorry, you're a disgrace. He's cussing at your women, your sisters, your daughters, and Sikh men, in all one sentence, all one sentence. And the reason why he's going to use the excuse, he's going to say, is to me. What is this bullshit, one good and all that kind of stuff? So basically, he's going to use the excuse, but he truly believes this. This is why he says it. He uses the excuse that I make him angry, so he says it as a way to disguise his true feelings. So to disguise his true feelings. So if I was to change this, to, instead of Sikhs, put the word Muslim in, let me do an experiment. I'm going to show you how nasty this guy is, yeah. And remember, this is a changing of the words. It's not what I believe. So he has said the word Sikh. So I'm going to change the word Sikh to Muslim in this one. Imagine if, yeah, a Sikh had said this: Muslims have a drinking problem, which leads to daddy issues with their women. They end up with Sikh boyfriends, and when it doesn't work out, they go home and they're forced to claim grooming. In reality, what he said was Sikhs have a drinking problem, which leads to daddy issues with their women. They end up with Pakistani boyfriends, and when it doesn't work out, they go home, they're forced to claim grooming. Yeah. So you can see the level of like disrespect to the Sikh man. Don't tell me he's friends of the Sikhs when he's disrespecting Sikh men, fathers, daughters, women, everything like that, and then claims to love Sikhs. At least with me, I say I got problems with Pakistanis. So when I criticize them, or I got a problem with a bit of Islam, when I criticize it, or Sunni Islam, if I criticize it, I'm not lying to you. I'm saying what I believe. You, on the other hand, pretend to be a friend of the Sikhs. I'm going to bring my Sikh mates down. Bring them, Ganjar. I dare you to. Give me just 3 minutes alone with those guys, yeah? And I'm telling you, by the time they come back to speak to you, the way they look at you is going to be different from the rest of their lives. Rest of your lives, yeah, you will always be wondering, damn, what did Raj say to those guys for them to change their attitude to me to that degree? And trust me, it will be all factual. All factual. Your Casa Pras, yeah, bring them to me. You're saying it, yeah. I'm asking you, Ganjar, bring them to me. Bring them. Let me show them who you are. Let me show them who you are. Because trust me, it's not going to take long, yeah, for me to turn the tables on you. Trust me, this is why you don't want to do it. Because you know it will take 2 minutes by myself, Kallah, yeah, to show all the shit you've been writing. And the next thing you know, God, Owen Desi, what are you doing? Stop your freaking... Hi, Raj, would you marry a hot Pakistani Punjabi woman if she was interested? If she converted to Sikh, yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm telling you straight now, or if she stayed Muslim, my kids aren't going to be Muslim. I'll tell you that straight now. They'd have to be Sikh. So she'd have to make a decision, like either she's Sikh or not. Yeah, and I know people ain't going to like that. They're going to Raj. Well, you do that to Sikh girls. Yeah, when a Sikh girl gets married, yeah, she has to become Muslim, and the children have to be Muslim. So I'll do the same thing. Yeah, Eddie Grant. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't mind because Punjabi people are the same, man. We're ethnically the same people. This is what I try and explain to people. Like, you know, the Punjabi people are ethnically the same people, but just like any group of people, it doesn't mean you get on. Yeah, doesn't mean you get on. Like, you know, I've had some of my worst problems with people I'm more similar to. You know, I argue with Sikhs as well, so it's not like I'm that freaking, like, you know, thingy. Oh, shut up, awaiting wisdom. Why are you so concerned about me freaking getting? This is why I'm sick and tired of people. Raj, get married. I'm gonna announce some good news at some point. But let me tell you something. When I do, yeah, it's gonna trigger a lot of people. I might text you, Sophia. Do you want to know? Do you want to know? So let me do something here, Sophia. Don't disclose what I'm gonna text you something here. Let me. What's your... Yeah, so don't tell anyone. So only Sophia Lewis will know. Let me write that. So Sophia, keep it to yourself. And you, yeah, go on. You're the first person I've actually no, the second. I told Steve the other day actually. It's gonna be quite interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. It might actually, some people might be happy because I'm gonna be a bit busy for the next couple of. I'm gonna be a little bit busy on the weekends. Just the problem. That's the only thing. Yeah. It's good news, man. It's good news. I'm happy. Yeah, long time had problems for the first. I don't want to say too much, so yeah. But you can imagine the angle of coconut. You know what I'm saying. What do you think of a Nation of Islam saying white man is the devil, Raj? Look, I'll address that one last thing. When it comes to them saying the Nation of Islam, I understand, yeah, from the point of looking. Look to me, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was an African American or a Jamaican and I was a slave and my mum was a slave, my family was a slave, and the white man was owning me and they were beating my people and lynching them, I would see them as devils. Like, not literal devils, but I would see them as devils. I'll be looking at them and going like, where is your humanity, man? Why are you doing this to my people? You must be demons. Now, the problem I have with the Nation of Islam is that's not what they're really saying. What they're saying, yeah, I know it's going to go crazy when people find out. So basically, yeah, yeah, great person. Let me just say, yeah, great person though. Yeah, we get on pretty well. So basically, when it comes to the Nation of Islam, I can understand where this kind of point of view of looking at the person that's persecuting you as a devil. I see the Islamic conquest and the Mughals as, the Mughals are a guy called Aurangzeb and people like that. A guy called I see them as literal like they're demons, they're evil devils, yeah, but not literally. I'm talking about their mindset. The problem with the Nation of Islam is that they have this story of Yaqub, and that all white people, yeah, are born with this kind of characteristic, yeah, that with this characteristic. This is where I have a problem, because the Nation of Islam's version is that all white people are demons because they are literal demons. What I believe is that, there was bad things happen to black people, and some of these black people started calling the white people white devils because of their abuse. Yeah, but I didn't see them as literal devils. Yeah, obviously, white people aren't devils, but there was some real barbarity going on during that particular time frame. Yeah, so it's I don't agree with the Nation of Islam's kind of version of I must just do 6 more minutes thinking then I need to get back to my drawings and stuff, like, I know everyone's saying I'm always drawing. Yeah. Well, everybody acts devilish, black pill. Everybody. Obviously, I will say that now everyone's going to call me racist now, yeah. But let me. Look, it's not racist there, but I have said this to white people, yeah. White people, yeah, they tend to take things to the next degree of madness. Like, for some reason, yeah, like, and look, this is going to sound racist, yeah, but if you look at most of the serial killers throughout history, in terms of the ones that we know about, they tend to be white males. Yeah, there's very rare you see like a black Asian serial killer. I'm not saying there aren't there, and the levels they go to, yeah. Like I've looked into serial killers because I have this kind of weird fascination with the kind of macabre and stuff like that. And when you look at the serial killers, yeah, like the white ones, they just take things to a next level of madness. Like, you're talking about real, like, sorry, Simon. So you look at someone like Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah. Jeffrey Dahmer is like an epitome of like crazy demon behavior, where he would get these men. Yeah. He would get these men and then he would drug them up and he would start drilling into their brains and put acid in there in order to make them into living zombies, so he could actually have sex with them, yeah. So he'd keep them alive as living zombies, and then when they died, he'd eat them, yeah. So you have this weird thing. So different kind of people do have different kind of weird traits, yeah, like in terms of maybe criminality. So I will say, when it comes to the white man, that when they do stuff, sometimes I think, you know, they do, like, I can't imagine, yeah, and this can sound racist. I know I'm gonna get a lot of stick here, but I've said it before, yeah. Like, whatever, it's only the white man, yeah, or the white Europeans that have thought of the nuclear bomb. Like, it's like, why would you even think about such a thing? Like, why do you need the nuclear bomb? Like, why? What do you want to do with it? You're literally gonna wipe everyone out, yeah. So it's just one of those things, man. I don't think it's racist. I think every other group can be very savage and barbaric. I just think when it comes to white people, they kind of have a more, let's just say they take things to a kind of a different kind of realm. Like, you know, you're talking about, like, you know, savagery, and then you have like nuclear bombs and stuff like that. I know I'm gonna get stick, but I've said that before anyway. Big up to the white people, man. Good people. But when they go mad, they go bloody mad. Not gonna lie. Look at World War I and II. Anyway, I need to shoot now. Anyways, Oppenheimer, I know he's Jewish, but I still classify Jews as white. He was a Ashkenazi Jew from Europe, so he's a white person. His faith is Jewish. It doesn't stop him from being a white European. In fact, Oppenheimer quoted the Bhagavad Gita, or the big Rig Vedas, and I think he said, "I am the bringer of death." So yeah, something like that, when he saw that goddamn smoke. Yeah, and I have to say, Chinese take it. The Chinaman is in the house here, Yan of China. The Chinese are like pretty creative with their craziness as well. Like, I've heard some. I need to start looking into Chinese serial killers, because I think they're pretty crazy as well in terms of taking things to another level. None of your business. What's the good news? It will be apparent at some point. It is. I'll be honest with you. For my enemies, they're going to be a little bit glad, although they're going to have a field day. They're going to have a little bit of respite from the Rajanator for a little while at some point when I find out a bit more. So nothing. Do I look like I'm pregnant? God's sakes! Everyone's saying I'm having a baby or something. No, it's not. It's not me. I'm happy for someone else. Do you know what, this is weird, yeah? People can't comprehend that I might be happy for someone else who's close to me. Like, it has to be about me to be happy. Like, I must be getting the let's say the kind of good news, but it's not me. It's somebody I know who I'm happy for, and so I'm happy because that person is happy. Yeah. So I don't know if people are thinking. Anyway, I need to shoot off. Oh, is he back? Is he black pill? Is he? Oh, Raj went in on Ralph for 2 days. Now he's back on fighting black and white. No, I'm not. I don't. When do I fight black people? I fight hypocritical people. I'm not saying I don't fight Sunni Muslims. I don't really have a problem with Shias, and I don't really have a problem with Sufis, but I do have a problem with certain Sufi people, and I won't say their name. Don't worry, Owen Desai. Don't worry. Only Sophia and the Stevenator know. Only the Sophia and the Stevenator know. So you can guess in the future, but you're going to say something mad like, "Oh, Raj, you're going to Mars," because you know I want to go to Mars. So stuff like, "Oh, Raj, maybe Raj is the first test tube pregnancy, male pregnant," or something crazy. I don't know what you're going to come up with. Maybe Raj has been found out to have alien DNA or something. See, you lot would never have the same creativity as me, because if you told me you had a surprise, I'd probably think of the most craziest things. Yeah, like your blood is made out of tomato ketchup or something like that. You've been found to be the first person to have no goddamn heart. Yeah, like literally something like that. Yeah, so yeah, keep it within the realms of reality. No. It's not to do with me. It's not to do with me. T-virus. It's not to do with me. So it can't be about my artwork. Yeah. Anyway, I'm off anyway. Bye bye.